Stadium, October the 23rd, 2008. It's Thursday Night Football on LSC, your local sports channel.
Hello, everyone. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Brett Musgrove, and down on the sideline tonight, Mr. Bob Hintz. Well, tonight's game between the homestanding Phoebus Phantoms. They will be playing host to the Kecoughtan Warriors, and this is going to be a key game for Kecoughtan to see just whether or not they can improve enough to possibly get into that slot for the playoff. It's homecoming night for the Phantoms. What can we expect tonight?
Well, Mike, Kecoughtan has one of the toughest end-of-the-year schedules in the league. Coming off a 21-14 heartbreaking loss to Hampton last week, they face Phoebus tonight and then Bethel next week. With a 4-3 district record, 4-4 overall, the Warriors have a slim shot at the playoffs, but everything would have to go their way in order for them to get there. Now, a win over Phoebus or Bethel would help. Can they pull off the upset tonight? Well, don't tell the Warriors they can't. They believe they can hold their own against anyone, and they proved that last week. But this is not just anyone, Mike. This is Phoebus, one of the best teams in the state. This is a team that is 7-0 in the district, 8-0 overall. And after beating opponents by an average of 48 points per game, they're tough. Can Phoebus continue to roll over opposing teams and play with the running clock? Well, Mike, they have so far.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, let's send it down to the sideline where Brent has the Kecoughtan head coach, Glenn Tidwell, for an interview.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with head coach Glenn Tidwell of Kecoughtan Warriors. Coach, you had a tough time last week. I want to talk a little bit about that. It was a game that, looking on paper, you guys had it. It was probably one of the best games I've seen you put together. Not that y'all haven't played well, but I really thought y'all were going to take that out of here. So having said that, we were talking about a couple of your players, and I'd like to talk about your left tackler, the senior, Shane Rivera. Yeah, he's played real well, it looked like.
Yeah, he's come a long way since my first year, his sophomore year. He has gotten better every year. The weight room's been his biggest area that he's tried to improve in, and we're trying to work on getting his feet better. But yeah, he's played a lot better than in the last couple of games that he has first part of the year.
He's about 300 pounds, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a big kid. It's just getting him to use that 300 pounds is what we're trying to get him to do. And if he ever uses that, we might move the ball a little bit better. So.
Well, let's go to a little bit of offense. Let's talk about Dante Bracey. If I pronounced that right. He had a good game last week. With your quarterback, it's like a two-pronged running team right there. So, I mean, it looked pretty impressive. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
Well, I mean, he's a senior too, and he's doesn't play defense, so he stays fresh for offense. And, you know, as far as the two, we have 4 guys that can touch the ball at any time. That's the thing that's hard to pick up on. And if Dorsey can read the defense correctly, then, you know, we'll move the ball. But, you know, but Hoyer has done a good job for us. I'm going to be missing him for next year.
Well, let me ask you one last question. Talk about your schedule. This is the second year in a row you've got what I would rate probably the march from wherever down your last 3 games. You played Hampton last week in a tough game, and now you got Phoebus tonight, and everybody know what Phoebus can do. And you ended up with Bethel. So you're playing the number 1, and the 2 teams applied for number 2 in the district, and you're tied for 3rd, of course, with Warwick. With that schedule, my question is, how do you keep your players motivated and upbeat? What do you have to do?
It's not hard. They understand these 3 teams. They're rivalry games, for us at least. You're playing the number 3 team in the state tonight and rated, I guess, in the top 25 in the country. So, you know, if you pick them off tonight, then, you know, a lot of people are going to be talking about you. But we know what to expect tonight, and I don't think we'll lay down for them. We're going to give them a good game.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time, and I want to say in the 3 years that you've come in here and started coaching this district, we can see an advance and the players toughening up, and I think they're more focused than they were 3 years ago. And thanks so much for bringing that to us in the district. You have a good game tonight, Coach. Thanks. Back to you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Brent. You know, it should be a good game tonight. You know, both teams rely on a great deal on the running game. So why don't we talk a little bit about the rushing attack that both teams have prepared for this game.
All right, Mike. Well, Kecoughtan counts on 1 main running back, but also on a quarterback who runs. Fullback Dante Bracey leads the Warriors with 554 yards on 113 carries, and he scored 7 TDs. But it's the quarterback Anthony Dorsey who has the defense worried with his 435 scrambling yards. On the other side, as we all know, Phoebus uses a relentless one-man running game. Sean Alston is second in the district with 1,048 yards on 142 carries, and he's crossed the goal line 18 times, Mike. He's a workhorse as he wears down the defenses with his grinding regularity. Averaging 131 yards and 14 points per game, he's going to be hard to stop. Real hard.
Real hard. Well, let's send it down to the sideline now where Bob's down there with a interview with the coach of the Phoebus Phantoms, Coach Bill D.
All right, thanks, guys. Coach, I've watched a lot of high school ball in my life, but I've never seen a team able to score every time they get the ball. Last week, you did it 8 times in a row. I sit in the stands and watch you do it 8 times in a row, 9 times in a row. You guys play what I call smash mouth football.
Well, you know, we've got some kids that can make things happen. I got a quarterback that leads the team, can throw. I got some running backs that will block and run. We got receivers that are there when we need them to be. They make key big catches for us. Our defense to me is the key. I always think you got to have a great defense, and I think that's been the real key to our team. Our special teams have been outstanding too. So, we're trying to get all phases of the game where we think they need to be.
Well, yeah, that was my next question. We'll talk about your defense because you held a Menchville team to a minus 42 yards, and we talked earlier a couple weeks ago about the hammer. You gave the hammer to Davenport because he hammers people, but your whole defense plays together, and when you come out the second half, they're not flat.
Well, we got great speed. They play well together as a unit. The chemistry, they go to the gaps they're supposed to be in. They take their responsibilities. So they're a pleasure. They're a great group to coach.
All right, now my other question is, when you get the lead, and people say, well, he's trying to run up the score, but you got to keep your people in there to keep your timing right, because it's not an easy thing for your timing. These guys got to get so many reps.
We haven't run them. I mean, last week our starters only played maybe a couple of plays in the second half. Taj only had 2 plays. Sean had 1 carry in the third quarter. That was it. And that in a couple games, we haven't gotten a lot of work in the, So, I mean, the seconds have been doing a good job, and the backups have been getting a little bit of work. And once that running clock gets rolling, you don't have a lot of time, to get a lot of work in. So, I'm hoping that doesn't hurt us. And
well, that was my question, because you got to keep the timing down.
Well, you got to work within your offense. I mean, we got to worry about keeping our time, like you said, the timing and getting the work in on the phases of the game that we need to get in.
Right. All right. One last question, Coach. Kecoughtan last week, in my estimation, should have won the game. They turned the ball over twice inside. Do you expect anything different from them tonight?
Well, I would imagine they're going to stay within the framework of what they've been doing. They've been moving the ball. I've seen them play a couple times. They move the ball well against everybody. They run the ball well. Their quarterback's Dorsey's an excellent athlete. Their fullback's good. There's motion guys. Tate and Hollier are good players. Bracey's the fullback. He's tough. They do some good things. The receivers are good athletes, and they've played at times very, very good football. And so, we got to be ready to play.
Well, you've been ready to play every night that I've seen you play, and I want to again congratulate you on a fine season so far, and good luck in tonight's game.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Bob.
All right, well, we're going back upstairs, going to hear from tonight's sponsors, then we'll be right back down here with Brent and myself.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Zooms. We're proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with 2 locations on the peninsula. Fort Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, and their newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And in part by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home, both inside and out. And by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com. and by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home. Located at 2551 North Armistead Avenue, Nancy Staten, Director.
Thanks, guys. Again, I have the pleasure to be here with my buddy Bob Hintz to discuss a little bit what we've talked to the coaches about so far tonight. And Bob, this is really a more important game than people realize if you look at the standings. Of course, Phoebus in first place, Hampton and Bethel tied for second, and Kecoughtan and Warwick tied for third. And the thing of it is, Kecoughtan coming in having played like they did last week, and as you said earlier, it could have gone a different way altogether. You've talked to Coach D, and what do you see for that team tonight that they've got to continue doing?
They just got to keep just running the ball right at the other team. Bill's philosophy with this group of guys is, I'm going to run at you, try and stop me. Because he's got some big kid. This Austin kid is a great runner. He can put Davenport in the backfield, and if you even look like you're going to stop him, boy, it'll pass. So they're going to just get all these weapons, and they're going to come at you. They're going to come at you. They're not going to do anything fancy, but you're going to have to stop them.
Well, as you said, with Taj Boyd, he's over 60% completing passes. He doesn't have to pass.
I know.
He just uses it very strategically. That's what the coach calls. But they're very tough. And for Kecoughtan, they played their hearts out last week, and you almost want to say it was a shame, but somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose.
Absolutely.
But we saw some great athletes for Kecoughtan last week. And if Kecoughtan's going to compete in this game and stay close, they've got to avoid the mistakes they made last week and play with the same intensity that they showed when they played Hampton. Of course, as we know, when people play Hampton, they seem to get an extra gear somewhere.
Somewhere, I don't know where it is, but you can't turn the ball over on the 8-yard line and the 2-yard line against any team, but especially not against Hampton. But Tidwell felt like his defense really came into their own, especially the second half, and he hopes that rolls over until tonight's game. Because for him to win tonight, his defense has got to step up, and they got to stop an awful good Phoebus game.
They got to step up big, and I'd love to see a real good game here. And of course, Phoebus has had a running clock every game, and I think if Kecoughtan can keep away from that, they'll almost have a victory in their own hearts. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time. I think the insight kind of covers it all we can cover.
I think we
and,
can't do any more
guys,
than that.
if it's not anything y'all can add, I'm sure you will, and we'll send it back up to you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. Well, we looked at the running game for both of these two teams. What about the passing game?
Well, Mike, as far as the passing game goes, well, Kecoughtan's is minimal. In 8 games, quarterback Anthony Dorsey's 34 for 78 for 457 yards. Now, that's just 57 yards per game. With 4 TDs and 10 interceptions, keep your eyes on Dorsey when he drops back, Mike. He's just as likely to run as he is to pass. And that's where he is a danger and a threat to this tough Phoebus defense.
He proved that last week against Hampton big time.
He did that. Now, Phoebus, on the other hand, has a very solid passing game, as we all know. Quarterback Taj Boyd is considered one of the top quarterbacks in the area. In just 6 games, 2 games less than most everybody else who played 8, he's completed 47 of 71 attempts for 765 yards. He's second in the district with 128 yards per game. He's third in touchdown passes with 11. So it's a good passing game for the Phoebus Phantoms. However, how is that going to translate, Mike, into keys for this game?
Well, I think the key for Kecoughtan, obviously, you can't run against Phoebus. I mean, they've proven that so far. And in order for Kecoughtan, who is averaging 187 yards a game in the air, they need to throw the ball successfully. In order to throw the ball successfully, obviously, Dorsey, who is a danger anytime he steps on the field, because you never know what he's going to do when he drops back. If he can get an some early completions, and he's going to open up the game. In that case, Kecoughtan may have a chance. Although it may be a slim chance, but at least if he can do that, they will be competitive in this game. Defensively, Kecoughtan's got to find some way to stop Austin. There's no doubt about that. But the problem with that is, don't give Boyd time to find a receiver either. The Warriors, who give up 175 yards in offense, Phoebus, they total 384 yards a game.
My thing is they got to get out.
One of the things that the Kecoughtan's got to do is they got to play team ball, but look out for Dorsey. That's going to be, Phoebus's key.
Exactly. Now, as far as Phoebus is concerned, the guys mentioned it a little while ago down on the field. Offense, they've got to control the line of scrimmage, which is something that Phoebus has done all year long. And then they're going to run, and run. And they're going to keep on running. They average 260 yards rushing per game. Sean Austin, one of the top backs in the district. That's a big key for them. Like Bob said, they run the ball until you stop them. Now, on defense,
far, nobody stopped him.
And you're right, nobody has stopped him, and it's going to be tough for anybody to stop those guys. They've got a great line, and they control that line every single week. Defensively, all they have to do is stop the Warrior running game, force it into Dorsey's hands, contain Dorsey so he can't scramble. When that kid gets loose, Mike, we saw him last week. I tell you what, he's exciting back there. You never know where he's going to go. He's got good speed, quickness. He sees the field, and he makes the defense pursue him.
Correct. Yeah, Hampton's defense last week did a very good job stopping the running game, with the exception of Dorsey. Dorsey dropped back on numerous occasions to pass, and just took off running as soon as he saw the opening, picked up some big yards against the Crabber defense.
He did, and he's got the chance to do that tonight, too.
That's definitely what kept Kecoughtan in the game, because there were numerous occasions last week where they were 3rd and long. They even went on 4th down a few times and made it on plays such as that. One of these teams got to win tonight, and, whichever one converts with everything that we've just got through talking about is the one that's going to come out in front. That's, again, like we talked last week, the lines have a great impact on the game, offensively and defense, and right now, Phoebus is pretty stellar right there. So we'll go ahead and look at the district standings as they are right now, and as you can see, obviously Phoebus undefeated. Bethel and Hampton tied for second, a game behind. And the Phoebus Phantoms, by the way, ranked number 14 nationally by Rivals.com. There are 4 teams in the state of Virginia that are ranked in the top 25 in the country.
I'm going to guess
Rivals.
2 of those are from here and 2 of them from the south side. No. You've also got Stonebridge, which is in Ashland, and they are actually, I believe, ranked 16th or 17th. Below Phoebus. Ocean Lakes over in Norfolk is ranked 10th, I believe. So, the Phantoms, number 14 in the country by Rivals in their top 100, at least they're being recognized. And, 4 teams, 2 of them in the local area in the top 20 in the country. That's pretty impressive. Not just impressive, it's fabulous.
Well, we're getting ready to have our national anthem played. It looks like the Kecoughtan marching band on the field as we wait for the color guard to present the flag. We'll have our national anthem.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand, remove your headwear, and prepare for our national anthem.
Reason! Colors! And horn up! 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Outstanding job by the marching band of Kecoughtan High School with our national anthem.
Hello, Hello there, young man. I hope you're all bundled up warm and enjoying the game out there. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching live LSC Local Sports Channel on October the 23rd, 2008, as we bring you Thursday Night Football, the Kecoughtan Warriors and the Phoebus Phantoms. Cold night, Mike.
Yeah, considerably different from last Friday night when we were here, and last Thursday night we were here. Also, don't forget tomorrow night we have live again here at Darling Stadium the Bethel Bruins and the Hampton Crabbers, which is a key matchup in the district right now.
A big matchup. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're not here to see that game and you're not here to see this game, please remember that you can watch it live on TV, or you can watch it on the internet. Just go to the Hampton City Schools website, click on the WHCS logo, and then when you get to that page, click on the LSC logo, and a little window will pop up, and you'll see a little button that says play. Hit play, and within a few seconds, you'll be watching the LSC Sports Channel, which brings you sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, until the power shuts down.
I believe you have to have a specific viewer, and if you don't have it and it don't come on, it'll actually ask you to download that particular program. I believe it's QuickTime.
Yep.
But if you don't have QuickTime in your computer, it'll prompt you into getting that, and load it up on the computer. No problems with that, and you're able to watch the game. I tell you something else too is make sure you know everybody out there that don't live in this area that would like to see this game. You can always tell them that. Get on the internet. You can watch it live.
Watch it.
And there are our referees for the game. Yeah, that was me. There's the officials. Referee is Mr. Bill Dozier. The umpire is George Adamowski. The lineman is Mick Hartzheim. The line judge is Steve Singleton. The side judge is Laura Heisen, a female tonight, it looks like. And the field judge is Scott Davis, and the back judge is Tony Brown. Got a young lady out there refereeing. I remember last year she was out there doing a couple of games. So that's really neat to be able to see stuff like that.
And she does a real good job. And Mike, we've got a great production crew with us tonight too. On cameras, we have Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer. Our graphics and animation man, the guy that does a super job on what you see, is Andy Foley. The slow motion instant replay is Mike Nowinski. The camera control operator, Sarah Myers. The production and audio assistant, Renee Camden. Our audio and chief engineer is Don Scharouse. The big man, director, producer, the one that puts it all together, Mr. Scotty Bowers. I'm Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser. Brett Musgrove, our stats and interview man. Bob Hintz, as well as interviews on the field. And our statistician Bob Killen came back this week.
I knew he'd be here. Yeah, as we sit there and watch the Kecoughtan Fighting Warriors come on the field.
By the way, I got to tell you this nice little story. There's Mr. Robinson in D. But
listen to this.
What is this? You got to see this, folks. We're going to stop right here.
I like listening to this. Get a shot of the Phantom running around on the field out there.
Watch this.
During the off season.
Yeah, well, I've got a body that looks like that too. I hang it in my closet. For those of you who can't tell, I believe that's the Phantom of the Opera music that you're hearing as the Phantoms come out onto the field.
I hate to walk by the speakers that are set up right there by the gate when they're coming in.
I think they're great.
Coming out on the field in unison. I like watching Kecoughtan come out. They look like the New York Jets uniforms out. I think that is really cool looking. So as we watch the referees, the officials go out on the field now as they'll do the coin toss, and hopefully they're mic'd up tonight and we'll be able to hear what they have to say.
Well, again, real quickly, I've got a little story for you. Scotty was out today or the other day, I forget which it was, and he stopped by a little place on Armstead Avenue in downtown Hampton called Walt's Barbershop.
Oh.
And A big barbershop, got lots of barbers in there, and it was quite busy. He said all the chairs were full. But the interesting thing was, Mike, that they had the TV turned to LSC.
All right.
And they were telling Scotty they keep it there because a lot of the guys have played sports before. They have children that are playing sports, and they know people that played, and they continuously watch LSC in all the sports games. In fact, one of our games was on when Scotty was in there today. And I believe he told me that Dominique Davenport's dad was in there, and they were talking about the station. And they said everybody watches it all the time. They love it. So, guys, if you're watching out there at Walt's Barbershop on Armstead Avenue in downtown Hampton, here's a shout-out to you for watching us. We really appreciate it. Keep us turned on, and we'll bring you all the sports we can, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Thanks a lot.
That's what I call putting them out there. All right.
Bring them out, guys. Have a good ball.
Like the Kecoughtan Warriors won to toss and elected to receive, as the Phantoms will be defending the east end zone here at Darlin Stadium. So since we know which team's going to take offensively, let's go ahead and show the offensive starting lineups for the Kecoughtan Warriors.
And here they are, ladies and gentlemen. Left tackle number 79, Shane Rivera. The left guard number 66, Rasheed Breland. The center number 55, Rick Parker. The right guard number 52, Ben Garrett. And the right tackle number 53, Dylan Reynolds. The wide receivers, number 6, Greg Richardson, and number 2, Grant West. The slots, number 7, William Tate, and number 4, Dominique Hollier. In the backfield, the quarterback, number 5, Anthony Dorsey, and the fullback, number 9, Deontay Bracey, the Kecoughtan Warrior offense.
And we can go ahead and get ready to show the defensive starters for the Phoebus Phantoms.
On defense for Phoebus, the guards, number 7, Daquan Romero, and number 11, Demetrius Ward. The tackles, number 51, Charlie Jones, and number 62, Dominique Davenport. The strong side linebacker, number 25, Chaz Robinson. Inside linebacker, number 32, Caleb Taylor. And number 35, inside linebacker, Levante Battle. The roving linebacker, number 12, Paul Morant. Cornerback, number 27, Rasheed Clark, and number 5, Markel Wilkins. The free safety, number 38, Colby Goodwin.
And there is the kickoff. Like it's going to bounce at about the 4, taken by the number, that's Brandon Backus, number 25 for Kecoughtan, as he gets the ball out to near the 15-yard line, where Kecoughtan will start their opening drive, 1st and 10. Not a good start to let the ball sail over your head, bounce at the 5 straight up, and hoping that it would go in the end zone. Look at that. But he does get the ball out to, oh, nice hit right there too. 1st and 10, Kecoughtan from their own 15-yard line. Going out wide to the far side is Grant West, number 2. Back behind center, number 5 is Anthony Dorsett. Hands the ball to the up back, and nothing there as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. And I believe that was Deontay Bracey, number 9, on the carry. No gain on the play as the ball sits back down at the 15. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Warriors taking that ball right into the center of the defensive line for Phoebus, running into number 51, Charlie Jones, and 62, Dominique Davenport. They're not going to get too much yardage if those two guys play like this tonight.
You're going to hear Dominique Davenport's name a lot tonight, believe me.
Offense and defense.
That's correct. Dorsey again under center. Again, this time he keeps the ball and rolls around the right side and picks up maybe 3 yards out, just shy of the 19-yard line. Will give him about a 3.5-yard gain on the play. We'll call it 3rd down and 6 now for the Phantoms.
Right here you can watch him come around the side where number 35, Levante Battle, and number 12, Paul Morant, corral him, but he does pick up a few yards again. That's Dorsey.
And that's exactly what he did last week against Hampton. And don't expect to see anything different tonight. 3rd and 6 now for the Kecoughtan Warriors. It looks like somebody on this side of the field moved just a little bit.
The snap, false start against the offense. 5-yard penalty.
That'll be 5 yards
third
added
down.
to that, and that'll make it 3rd down and 11 now as the ball's placed at the Warrior 14.
You can watch number 53 of the Warriors as he comes out and moves. He picks up the flag right there, moves the ball back 5 yards for Kecoughtan.
That 3rd down and 6 was a lot more manageable than at 3rd down and 11 now, so expect a pass play here on this particular snap. Back to pass is Dorsey being flushed out of the backfield and swarmed under as he's led. The tackler was the Demetrius Ward, number 11, as he was in there and took care of business.
But the player who made that happen, Mike, was number 35 inside linebacker Levante Battle. Watch him on the blitz right through the middle of your screen there. He forces Dorsey out of the pocket and right into the arms of the defenders who were there.
Loss of about 6 on the play. That brings up a 4th down and 17 now for the Warriors. Uh-oh, fumble, snap. It's looks like it's recovered in the end zone by the Phoebus Phantoms. I believe it's number 25 on the recovery. That's Chaz Robinson. So, a bad snap, and he kind of just dropped the ball. Robinson was there to pick it up as the Phantoms will score a special teams touchdown.
He knew he was going to have to get this ball off in a hurry, and he just couldn't hang on to it. Tried to recover and make the kick. By the time he does that, you've got 3 Phantoms right there. The ball was loose. It was an easy touchdown for Phoebus.
In there to kick the extra point for the Phantoms, Eric Crocker, number 54. Picks up. It's long enough, and it is good. So they haven't even been on the field offensively, and they've already got a 7-0 score. 9:37 to go here in the opening period of play. Phoebus 7 and Kecoughtan nothing.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching live from Darling Stadium Thursday, October the 23rd, 2008, LSC Local Sports Channel, as we bring you the Kecoughtan High School, Phoebus High School football game. Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser on a cold, nice football night.
Yeah, it's about, what, maybe 50 out there?
It's like 40, but yeah. Yeah, I guess it's 50.
Yeah, we'll keep the same offense and defense on the field here. Back deep for Kecoughtan, number 25 in the middle back there is Brandon Backus. Like number 20 kicking off, Eric Anderson for the Phantoms. Wobbly kick as it is picked up at the 12-yard line by number 7, Jaquan Romeo. And down he goes as he's tackled by the Phantoms' number 12, Kendall Petros. No, 35, I'm sorry. That's Levante Battle for the Phantoms. Just shy of the 20-yard line, put it down on the 19. That'll make it first down and 10 for the Warriors as they get set to have their second series of downs. Tonight is homecoming night for the Phantoms, and I tell you, they got a lot of the homecoming cheerleaders down there. There's a pitch out to number 7, William Tate. On the stop is number 35, Levante Battle.
Levante Battle's been a busy man here today as he comes all the way across from the other side of the field to make this tackle.
Like there is a flag on the play.
Illegal shift against the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
That'll remain first down. So it'll be first down at 15 now as the ball's backed up to the 14.
Look at
nice little crowd.
Look at those coats out there.
Yeah, boy,
hats and
compared
gloves.
to what we saw last week at this time. Last week we were looking for the cool air.
And couldn't find it anywhere.
We had, I mean, it was stagnant up here. It was so bad. There's a pitch out to the Warriors, number 40, Dominique Collier. Nice little run as he gets the penalty yards back, plus maybe an extra yard as he's tackled at the 20-yard line. That'll give him about a 7-yard pickup as it'll make a second down and 9 for the Kecoughtan Warriors.
It appears right now, Mike, that the Warriors are going to make the Phoebus linebackers make the plays. They're going to stay away from the strength of that defense, which is the line. Charlie Jones, Dominique Davenport, Demetrius Ward, Daquan Romero. Those guys are tough up front. The Warriors are running away from them, going to the outside. They're trying to spread those linebackers, making them make the plays.
Speaking of Davenport, he was the tackler on the play.
Yes, he was.
2nd down and 9. There's a pitch to this side now. Nothing going there as he might have got a yard on the play to about the 21-yard line as the ball was pitched to, again, number 7, William Tate.
Watch number 25, Chaz Robinson. He just stands there and waits for the runners like nobody blocks him. He just came right in there and said, okay, come to me, and the guy did, so he tackled him.
Demetrius Ward was also in on the stop for the Phantoms. 3rd down and 8. The ball sits just outside of their own 21. Back to pass. Got a lot of room to this side if he can get a hole there. There's a pass down the sideline. It is complete outside the 40. Completion is to number 14. That's Jace the Priest. Nice little pass play. And that's exactly what we talked about earlier with Anthony Dorsey getting outside.
Now watch him get this, Mike. He rolls to his left because he's left-handed, and then he comes back this way. As you noted, there's a lot of open space, but the Phoebus defender gets in there, and he throws a little wobbly pass to a receiver who had the good sense to get free and come toward the quarterback.
Yeah, Paul Morant on the coverage that time, and nice little gain on the play. Gives them 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Gets them a little bit out from behind or near the goal line. Keeper this time by the quarterback, Dorsey. He's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
I'm not sure that was the design play that they had anticipated there, as Dorsey looked like he had a problem with the handoff here. You can see him, they're just kind of stuck right there, missed handoff, and Dorsey ends up keeping it, and he's right in the middle of a bunch of Phoebus tacklers.
Bobby Goodwin led the way with tackling on that play. 2nd down and 10 as they mark the ball back at the original line of scrimmage. On a chilly night here on a Thursday. 6:47 to go here in the opening period. Phoebus 7 and Kecoughtan nothing. Dorsey on a keeper this time. Faked the pitch out. Ends up losing about 1.5 yards on the play. Nice tackle that time by Caleb Taylor, number 32. Also on the tackle, number 51, Charlie Jones.
Charlie Jones keeping his territory right there as he just followed that play down the line, and when Dorsey went to pitch he was right there.
It's a good thing he did, because
he was right
Phoebus had the pitch covered.
Oh, they
were 2 players on him, and there was 2 players on the quarterback. So Phoebus comes into this game well prepared for what Kecoughtan did last week. 3rd down and about 12 now to play. We'll call it 3rd and 11. Dorsey back to pass again over the middle, wide open, and I tell you what, that ball was there on the spot, intended for Greg Richardson, who didn't turn around in time to see the ball because it hit him right in the hands.
Dorsey did everything you're supposed to do on that. He had the blitz coming from the outside on both sides. Watch this on the replay as he throws the pass right to the receiver. He's got 2 men open across the middle. Great opportunity for the Warriors.
Back deep now in getting set to receive the punt is for the Phantoms, number 5. That's Markel Wilkins. That punt was punted almost straight up as it lands on the 40, bounces inside the 35, and it will be marked down at about the 32-yard line. About 23 yards or so on the punt for the Kecoughtan Warriors. And here we go with the Phoebus Phantoms offensively to start their first offensive drive tonight. Nice.
Barely got that off. He's getting a lot of pressure. All right, here we go with the lineups for right after this play.
Taj Boyd, there's a handoff to Austin up the middle. Breaks a few tackles and gets near the 1st down marker, and we'll go ahead and show the starting lineups now. Referees will call timeout to do a measurement to see if Austin got the first down.
And here we are with the Phoebus Phantom offense. At left guard number 62, Dominique Davenport. Left tackle number 51, Charlie Jones. The center number 52, Vic Gaither. Right tackle number 60, Antonio Christian. And the right guard number 50, Jaquan Hogan. The split end number 2, Omen Newkirk. The flanker number 5, Markel Wilkins. And the tight end number 7, Daquan Romero. At quarterback, number 10, Taj Boyd. Fullback number 25, Chaz Robinson. And the tailback number 22, Sean Alston. That's the Phantom offense.
About a foot shy of the first down. Call it second down and about a foot. We'll call it second one officially.
1 foot?
1 foot.
1 foot.
We're on the handoff up the middle to the fullback, and I don't know, that wasn't Davenport because he's standing right there. Now, last week, I believe
Here is the Kecoughtan Warrior defense. Left tackle number 39, Rashawn O'Neal. The nose guard number 77, Tariq Marshall. And the right tackle number 49, Xavier Ely. At linebackers, outside linebacker number 6, Greg Richardson. Middle linebacker number 11, Hakeem Garner. The number 13, Robert Lopez. Outside linebacker number 17, Josh Morris. The cornerback, number 1, Aaron Matthews. And number 14, Jace DePriest. The free safety number 2, Grant West, and the strong safety number 7, William Tate.
that was Chaz Robinson on the run for the first down. Here's Austin now off the left side. I tell you what, there's 5 guys standing there holding on to him, trying to get him down. He still picks up about 8 yards on the play, all the way down to Kecoughtan's 42-yard line.
Well, he got the good key blocks to start him off, and then he just took off around the left side. He keeps his legs moving and driving and just carries the tacklers with him, Mike. Sean Austin is one tough young man to bring down.
He followed right behind his lead blocker, who was the fullback on that play, is Chaz Robinson. Davenport is on the sideline right now. Robinson is the up back with Austin tailback. Back to pass is Boyd being flushed out around the corner. Inside near the 30-yard line as he looks like he is forced out of bounds at about the Kecoughtan 33. That's going to be good for another Phantom's first down. Nice run.
Well, that was an interesting play. You see the inside fake there. They had the fake on the end around, and Boyd obviously wanted to pass it, but he just couldn't find anybody or decided there was enough room for him to eat up some yardage real quick, and he did just that.
As Robinson now coming out of the game for the Phantoms.
Nice fans over there on the Phoebus side at tonight's game. The coats, notice the coats, folks. It's cold.
First and 10 from the 33-yard line of Kecoughtan. First offensive drive for the Phantoms. There's Austin off the left again. Picks up good yardage as he picks up about, give him 6 as he is down to about the 27-yard line. That'll bring up a second down and 4 for the Phantoms.
Austin doing a good job of reading the fact that the hole was closed right there, and you'll see him bounce off to the left side here and pick up some good yardage. That's a good running back there, Mike. You know, he'll follow his blockers when he knows that he has the blocks, and he has the ability to jump outside either way and pick up some good yardage.
Josh Morris, number 17, on the initial stop for the Warriors. Call it second and 4. Handoff to Davenport as he came into play, and he breaks 2 tackles and gets down inside the 15 all the way down near the 13-yard line. That's about a 15-yard run for Davenport. Nice run off the right side.
Now, is there anything this young man can't do? Look at him.
2 tackles, 3 tackles, 4. It took 5, 6 guys to bring him down.
I tell you what, he's a horse. You know, he's the guy that Austin follows, and you get behind him and he blocks everybody out of the way, and Austin picks up hundreds of yards, and now he gets the chance, and good gosh, he can go.
Davenport was the tail. Well, that is Austin on the tailback that time. He's going to go to the left side, following a couple of blockers. This time, minimal yards, maybe 2 on the play, as he's down near the 12-yard line. And we'll call it a gain of a yard, and that looks like where they're going to mark it at. So it'll be second down and 9.
Play game's about a yard.
We just heard a word from the truck that they talked earlier to some of the coaches on the team, and they said that they're really glad that they don't have to try and tackle Davenport. He's just a tough guy.
Dodge Boyd back to pass. Passes over the middle, incomplete, and almost intercepted by number 2, Grant West, and it went right through his hands. Ball was a little bit overthrown for the intended receiver.
Juan Romero, the intended receiver, a good fake by Boyd, but the pass just out of reach of Romero and almost, as you said, Mike, into the arms of the Warrior defense.
Call it 3rd down and 9 as the Phantoms will call timeout here. On the sidelines again tonight is Mr. Bob Hintz, and occasionally Bob will come up and have a couple of things to say.
There's the Phantom bench right there as you see one of the players ready to get into the game. Nice blue and gold. I like those uniforms.
That looks like Dontrell Jones, number 21.
There's number 50. Number 50 is Jaquan Hogan. And you can see him right next to Taj Boyd, number 10, along with another one of the players, number 9. I love these uniforms. Like I said, they look like the old New York Jets. That's that's old school. That's old school right there. Number 77 for the Warrior defense there, the nose tackle, Tariq Marshall. United States, hello, young ladies. How'd you know I was over here talking about you? See that? Now when they watch this on TV, they'll know.
2:23 to go here in the first quarter. Phantoms driving. Here's a pass play to the left into the end zone. It was overthrown as the intended receiver was Daquan Romeo, and well covered on the play by the Warriors that time.
Taj Boyd had plenty of time out of the shotgun. There's nobody back there. He just simply overthrows this pass. The coverage was good, no doubt about that.
That's going to bring up a 4th down and 9 as it looks like the Phantoms are going to attempt what looks to be a 30-yard field goal, as number 54 for the Phantoms, Eric Crocker, will attempt the field goal. There's the snap. Kick is up long enough. It's good. So Crocker's field goal of 30 yards puts the Phantoms now out in front of the Kecoughtan Warriors by a score of 10-0. 2:12 to go here in the first quarter of play.
As you watch Dominique Davenport walk off the field, and you see him right there on your screen, you are watching live from Darling Stadium, LSC Local Sports Channel, as we bring you a great crowd. And here's the field goal that gave Phoebus a 10-0 lead.
That one would have been good from 45 yards out, because it definitely went past the goalpost by a lot.
We were I just got some information again from the truck, and that field goal looked like it was plenty of distance on it, and they were saying there's a little bit of a wind down there. And
it's to his back.
Bob was telling us that that's one of the reasons why that pass sailed so far past the end zone, that he got caught by the wind. So that would make a lot of sense, because Boyd's usually pretty accurate.
So with 2:12 to go here, the Phantoms extend their lead now 10-0 over the Warriors. As we get set to kick off here, number 20 for the Phantoms is Eric Anderson. Like number 25 again on the carry, this time Brandon Backus, as he brings the ball back up to about the 25-yard line, where he is met by 3 Phantoms, number 32, who is Caleb Taylor. Number 36 right there. 36 is Tim Boyd.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. Brandon Backus, just from the spelling of his name, I'm going to guess he's related to Alan Backus.
Could be.
Alan Backus, of course, a great running back from Kecoughtan High School. Now a teacher for the Hampton City school system.
Also in on the tackle, number 35, Levante Ballard for the Phantoms. 1st and 10, Kecoughtan from their own 26-yard line. 2:07 to go here in the first quarter of play. In the shotgun is Dorsey, takes the snap and just takes off running around left end, as he's going to pick up what looks to be about 3 yards on the play. We'll have to wait and see where our officials will mark the ball. We'll give them 3 on the play, call it 2nd down and 7.
Interesting setup that time. Looks like the old single wing formation as Dorsey gets it and just tries to take it around the left side. But this Phantom defense, Mike, they're quick, they're tough, and they're winning the battle down in the trenches. Dorsey not getting a lot of yardage at this time.
2nd down and 7. The ball sits at their own 29-yard line. No wideouts as they have 2 guys in the slot to the near side. Pitches. The center is back to Dorsey as he runs again to the left side. Gets the ball near the 35-yard line.
There's some more of the fans that are here at the game as we see the replay of this last run by Dorsey as he takes it to the left-hand side, this time away from us. Close to a first down.
Markel Wilkins, number 5 on the stop.
Official timeout.
Like he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. Bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Warriors as time is called now for, it looks like maybe an equipment problem.
Well, there they are, ladies and gentlemen, as a fundraiser for the varsity cheerleading team currently at Phoebus High School. A group of alumni ladies are cheering the first 2 quarters of this game. Now, these people include alumni from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and up, who've been working hard for the past 3 weeks to get in shape for a nostalgic moment of cheering. Some of these ladies include people like Mary McNair, class of 78, Jackie McNair Dawson, class of 79, Corinthia Jolie, class of 80, the coordinator for this group, Stephanie Jenkins, class of 80, the coach, Jacques McCarthy, Shamika Copeland, class of 98, Chanel Hill, class of 96, Doreen Richard, class of 82, Sherry Boone, class of 80, Phyllis Page, class of 82, Keela Cooley, class of 88, Michelle Brown, class of 84, Patrice Jackson, class of 89, Robin Sanzo Wingate, class of 99, Deborah Sims, class of 80, Pamela Porter, class of 84, Janelle Porter, class of 81, Tanika Lewis, class of 98, and Raina Arana, I apologize, not sure how to pronounce it, R-A-N-A Wilson, class of 98. All these young ladies donating their time to raise money for the Phoebus High School cheerleading squad. And Mike, I talked to them before the game. They're just a wonderful bunch of young ladies. So thank you very much for getting out here tonight on a cold night.
There's a snap straight back to Dorsey, and he looks like he might be short of the first down. Again, it's going to depend on how the officials mark it, but it looks to me like he's short. Although he did give him a good mark.
He's going to need a real good mark here, Mike, because it looked like he was way short.
Davenport on the stop. They gave him the first down, and I thought he was a half a yard shy of that. But like I said, he got a good mark. 1st and 10 for Kecoughtan, their first down, I believe, on the game. That should have been the last play of the first quarter. So at the end of 1, Phoebus Phantoms are out in front of the Kecoughtan Warriors by a score of 10-0. Let's send it down on the sideline now where Bob Hintz has an interview.
Jerry Gentry here. All right, I got Jerry Gentry with me. Jerry has been with the Hampton system for 39 years, and he's still going strong. He helps over at Phoebus. Tell me what some of your duties are at Phoebus.
Well, I retired in 2000, and I'm still teaching part-time. I teach sports medicine, and I'm AD. I split the AD job with Bill D. So I probably work more hours now than I did when I was teaching full-time. But I still love it as much as I did from day one. So,
well, you know, you and I go way back a long time, and you know, it's good to see you still active and still going on. I know you got a young child that in your life now, and you're going to become a Mr. Dad.
Yeah, this is my last year. I'm ready to go home and play Mr. Mom. I'm looking forward to it. I'll miss this, and I'll miss Phoebus, because Phoebus is the closest thing you can have to a family and not be real family. But I've loved every year I've been there, and I will miss it. But
well, I appreciate you taking time to talk to me.
Thank you, Bob.
We'll go back up to the booth. Thanks, guys.
There was a direct snap in the shotgun again, this time to Dorsey, and the Phoebus Phantoms defense had him bottled up from the start. He's going to lose a bunch of yards on that play on a first down play all the way back to their own 25-yard line. That's a loss of about 11. Let's see, we'll call it a loss of 11. And finally is brought down by the Phantoms. Is that number 25?
Chaz Robinson, it was 62. Dominique Davenport got in there to make that play.
He tried to come to the near side. He was kind of forced back to the right, and not a lot of luck that way either. So we'll call it second down and about 21 on the play. Dorsey out to the left, throws the ball in traffic, and it went through about 3 players' hands, and 2 of them, unfortunately for Kecoughtan, was actually Phoebus players.
Yeah.
It was intended, I believe, for the Warriors' number 4, Dominique Collier, and overthrown to him.
A good fade to the left, but he throws into quadruple coverage on that play, and the only people who touched that ball, like you said, Mike, were Phoebus Phantom players, and that's not what Dorsey wanted that time.
It's going to make it 3rd and 21.
So that's going to make up 3rd down and 21 now. Is again, Kecoughtan deep in their own territory and a long yardage to go here on 3rd down. Not a lot of luck at this point. Dorsey back. That is a play right there that it's intercepted. Is that Colby Goodwin? All the way in for the score. So now that play started out to be a play that looked just like what happened last week, but this time Dorsey didn't pull up and run because look, did you see the lane that he had?
Yes, I did.
Instead, he throws the interception, and he goes about 41 yards down the right sideline for the score.
He had an open hole there, Mike, right up his left, and he throws into triple coverage this time.
Intercepted the ball at the Kecoughtan 41, carries it 41 yards in for the score. And to kick the extra point now is number 54, Eric Crocker, as the Phantoms now extend their lead to 16-0. Kick is up. Long enough and good. So with 10:50 to go here in the second quarter of play, the Phoebus Phantoms have jumped out to a 17-0 lead over the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching live LSC Local Sports Channel. Here we watch this play. Look at the lines. You've got that open territory. He had a good 10, 12 yards right there, and there's 3 people covering the receiver.
Overthrown number 4, Dominique Collier, again. This time it hurt him by overthrowing him.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we're in the second quarter of this game is sponsored by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is the place for all your hard-to-find hardware needs, including electrical, plumbing, and painting. And by Zooms, with great service and convenient locations throughout the peninsula that can save you time and money. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining and delicious food. We know that for a fact. Join them for lunch or dinner at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News or on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Call David Chubb or Terry McNamara at 594-0411. And I've still got that great taste of Kelly's food in my stomach right now because I had some before we had the show.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Here's the kickoff by the Phantoms. This time it's a nice end-over-end kick down to about the 15-yard line, taken on the play by the Warriors' Aaron Matthews. He's bottled up by about 7 Phantoms. Leading the way on that play is number 33 is DeQuan Tolliver. And, I tell you what, Phoebus offensively hadn't had to do anything to that so far in this game. They had the ball offensively one time, and they ended up kicking a field goal. They scored a touchdown by an intercepted pass, and they scored a touchdown by recovering a fumble off of a punt.
Yeah, we really haven't seen the Phoebus offense.
The offense has only been on the field one time so far here in the first quarter of play. So, defensively, Kecoughtan hasn't had to do a whole lot defensively. But, Phoebus did have that nice drive to get it down inside the 20 before they ended up having to kick a field goal. But offensively, Phoebus really hadn't had to do anything so far. On a first down play, it looks like a gain of about 2 on the play out to the 29-yard line.
And Kecoughtan was lucky on that play too, Mike. Charlie Jones, number 51, almost had the ball in his hands on that handoff because he got in the backfield so fast that as he tackled the runner, he had the ball.
Deontay Bracey on to carry number 9.
Look at these
Second
young
down
ladies.
and 8.
Look at these alumni ladies. They can still cheer after all these years. Although some of them weren't that far away.
Dorsey now under center, back to pass. Gets the ball out, is completed. Nice little fake move and around the corner, and he looks like he's going to pick up a first down as he is out to near the 42-yard line. That picked up their second first down of the game. And that's what Dorsey has got to be able to do. He's got to hit his receivers. And I tell you what, he was almost being tackled in the backfield at the time he threw it.
Was that, but he made a good play to pick up some good yardage.
First and 10 for the Kecoughtan Warriors, again at their own 42-yard line. 9:45 to go here in the second quarter play. Warriors trail Phoebus by a score of 17-0. Dorsey under center, drops back to pass, and being flushed out of the pocket, almost brought down, but all number 33 for the Phantoms did, Tolliver, was to slow Dorsey up enough for the rest of the Phantoms defense, who was led, I believe, by number 11, Demetrius Ward, to actually tackle him for a big loss as he's dropped all the way back to their own 33-yard line.
That was number 32, the inside linebacker, Caleb Taylor, blasting in off the left side there to put the pressure on as we see Bill D along the sideline.
Ball second down and 19 after that 9-yard loss. And
you see number 32 as he comes through there, Caleb Taylor. I mean, he just came through like he wasn't even blocked off there. Good shots by our camera.
Slot back over here, and there is a fake pitch as Dorsey carries the ball to the 35, and not much doing there. He picks up a couple of yards on the play as the Phantoms number 11 on the stop, Demetrius Ward.
Little bit of a hole right there, but see how quickly Phoebus plugs it up, Mike?
And Demetrius Ward did a good job bouncing off his block to be able to make that tackle. Pick-up of about 2 on the play. We'll call it third down and 17 now for the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Get a little ground shot there across the field to the Warrior side as we see the players get ready to line up. I like these shots like this. These put you right there on the field in the action.
In the shotgun, back to pass. Throws the ball outside, wide open on the right sideline. Looks like number, is it 14? It is number 14. That was a good play there. This time to Jake Priest. Big gain on the play for a first down all the way down to the Phoebus 40-yard line.
Jace DePriest, as we watch this, good pass by Dorsey. DePriest with 97 yards on the year, just 6 receptions. Made a nice grab there. Like I said, he was wide open. And
he slipped around the coverage by the safety.
Dorsey gets in the ball. Part of the homecoming court there for the Phoebus Phantoms.
And the pitch back to tailback on the play. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing going to the right side that time as the ball was pitched to Bracey. No gain on the play, bring up second down and 10. .703 on the clock as it's moving. As you can see, the clock running right there on our screen right there at the top.
You know what's interesting, last week, the time of possession, I'm going to be curious to see what that is, because Kecoughtan, again, like last week, time.
There's a pass that goes right through the hands of the receiver, and it's intercepted. And I believe that is, in that number 38, good Coleman again, and he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. As, my goodness, Colby Goodwin again, that's his second interception as the ball went right through the intended receiver's hands. Let's see if we can see this again.
Watch this. We're going to have to check with Bob and see what the wind situation is down there, because that one just sailed right over and into the arms of Colby Goodwin. And I know that young man is thinking, boy, this is my night. I just got to sit out here and wait for him to throw me the ball.
The intended receiver was Grant West, a little bit overthrown and right through his hands. So that still would have been a pretty good catch, though, if he had been able to come up with it. But it ends up being intercepted by Goodwin, and all the way down to the 15-yard line, where Taj Boyd brings the offense to the line of scrimmage. Austin is in the eye. Back to pass on a slant play, a little bit behind the intended receiver. And the intended receiver was Omen Newkirk, number 2.
There's the flag blowing right there, Mike. So we are getting a little bit of a stiff wind out there as that flag is straight out, right above the booth here where we are.
And we're looking at that flag blowing like that, but if you look at the flags on the goalpost, they're hardly moving compared to what that flag was. Incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. Ball still sits at the 15-yard line of Kecoughtan.
We are getting word up from Bob that it is windy down on the field.
Austin on the carry off the right side, and he's going to fight his way inside the 10-yard line. Give him a pickup of about 6 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Phantoms.
If any of you young kids out there that play football are watching this game, I hope you're keeping your eyes on Sean Alston to watch how he keeps his legs moving all the time. He follows his blocks and then just rolls with the tide, so to speak. But as long as his legs are driving, he's moving, and it's hard for people to bring him down. You see up in the corner of the screen there, a young lady with the blue and gold face there for the Phoebus Phantoms. I like it when they do that kind of stuff.
3rd down and just shy of 5. We'll call it 3rd and a long 4. Back to pass is Boyd, being flushed to the left. Oh, and he is hit and dropped in the backfield by the Warriors, number 11. That's Hakeem Gardner. A big stop that time by the Kecoughtan Warriors. Looks like they're going to try for a long field goal. This time it'll be into the wind.
Taj Boyd was looking for somebody downfield. I'm not sure who, because he had 1 or 2 men open out in the flat. And rather than go to them, he was looking a little bit longer downfield. I think he was looking into the end zone. And
we're going to call this a 35-yard field goal. It looks like they're going to mark it just shy of the 35. It's going to have to be a good-sized boot with the wind blowing the way it is. Kick is low line drive. It actually went over the crossbar. Call that a 35-yard field goal for the Phoebus Phantoms. Number 54, Eric Crocker, extends the Phantom lead now to 20-0 over Kecoughtan. And you know, defensively, Kecoughtan's doing a great job.
Watch this field goal, Mike. This is a low kick. I'm watching everything here on the screen, and I wasn't sure it went over.
I didn't think it had a shot of going over.
Look at this. It did go over there. Yep. You can tell. Not a question, but it sure didn't look good when it first went up.
Talking about Kecoughtan's defense, they've only given up 6 points in this game.
Well, you're exactly correct. And again, I mentioned earlier the time of possession. Kecoughtan offense has been out on the field a lot. 2 words, a lot.
A lot.
And how often have we seen the Phoebus offense out there? Not much. I think they've been, maybe we can get some information from Brett over here in a minute, but I think Phoebus has only been out there twice on offense. They've run 12 plays. 12 plays, according to Bob Killen. That's not many in 1 quarter and 2/3 of the next. There's young Miss Sanzo Wingate right there in the middle of your screen as she still shows that she can still cheer a couple of years later. Look at him there.
Here's the kickoff. There is a flag on the play back where the Phantoms kicker kicked off, and it looks like Phoebus may have been offside on the kickoff, so they're going to bring it back and go back 5 more yards and make the Phantoms kick off from the 35. There, as you see the clock, 5:54 to go. 20-0 Phoebus here in the second.
You know, a little while ago, we saw that young lady with the face painted on it. And last week, you know, we saw lots of the Phoebus kids in the stands, and they had no shirts, and they had the letters written on painted on their chest and everything, the P and the H and the O and E. It's a little cold tonight, and one of those guys was Quint Smith. He's a senior at Phoebus, and he was the letter H, I believe, last week. He's the brother of Mara Smith, one of my students at Jones, and I had to tell her he was pretty crazy to try it tonight if he was going to do it tonight.
Well, the kickoff was returned by Aaron Matthews. Not much there as he's brought down by the initial tackle, 33, Jaquan Collier. Like about 7 yards on the return, so Kecoughtan again will start 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line, trailing 20-0 to the Phantoms.
20-0 and had the ball most of the time.
Like I said, defensively, they've done a good job. They've held them to 6 points. And Phoebus Phantoms special teams are the ones who've done most of the scoring tonight. Dorsey on a handoff up the middle to the fullback, number 9, Dante Bracey. Gets outside the 30 to about the 31. Give them 3 on the play, call it 2nd down and 7. As the clock continues to run here in the 2nd quarter of play.
I don't think many people really understand that Kecoughtan's running game is right up there with most of the other top teams in the district, Mike. They spread theirs out. Coming into tonight's game, Deontay Bracey, 554 yards, Dorsey, 435 yards. And they've got another young man, William Tate, with almost 300 yards. They've got over 1,000 yards between the 3 runners. Whereas most teams, with your Tron Martinez's, your Sean Alston, your Jontel Evans, they have 1,000 yards with the one runner.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Kecoughtan could find a way, here's Dorsey on the keeper, and that's what he did last week against the Crabbers. He picks up about 10 on the play that time and gets a 1st down. And one of the things that Kecoughtan, if people can realize, if they can keep from getting that big loss on a play, that puts them into the 2nd and 3rd down and tremendous yardage to get a 1st down. They've done quite well tonight.
They have, but it's almost like they're bit by the bad luck bug. Last week we saw him, we saw a runner go into the end zone. Unfortunately, he didn't have the ball with him when he got there. He dropped it before he got there.
Yeah, he dropped it at the 2.
Yeah, tonight their turnovers again are the big thing for.
2 interceptions led to the Phantoms field goals. One of them led to a pick 6 as he went all the way in to score. And defensively led by Dominic Davenport on that play, just absolutely bottled that one up as Dorsey was sacked back for about a 3-yard loss on the play. That's going to bring up 2nd and 13 as the ball sits at Kecoughtan 40.
Watch this as they get in there.
Davenport as he made contact first.
I think also in there was number 50, Jaquan Hogan. This Phantom defense is just a tough defense.
Coming in from the linebacker spot was Chaz Robinson, number 25, too. So 2nd down and 13 now for Kecoughtan. Dorsey now in the shotgun, back to pass. And he tucks it and runs and then throws it wide open again down the sideline. All the way down to about the 35-yard line for the Warriors. And is it number 6 on the receiving end that time? That's Greg Richardson. And that looked like a pretty play right there.
That was, but watch the hit on Greg Richardson as he really takes one right here. And I think he just didn't know where he was for a second right there as you see him just watch. It's
Paul
like
Morant
he's not sure where he is.
Paul Morant hit him first and followed by number 27, Rasheed Clark. And they were like almost close to being a sandwich hit that time.
But a good play.
Yep, nice play by Dorsey as he tucked it under like he was going to run and then let loose with it down the right sideline. We talked earlier in the game about the passing game for Kecoughtan has to work for them to have a chance to be, stay in this game. And a couple of good plays like that will make that happen. Dorsey on a keeper this time picks up about 3. Call it 2 as it'll make it 2nd down and 8 as the ball sits at the 32.
There's Coach Van Dyke. And as you see coming toward us, Bill D.
Hey, let's go.
Coaches. Dorsey's got receivers open. It's just a matter of gauging that wind enough to get the ball down into their arms. And he needs to quit throwing into 3 coverage and 4 coverage out there. hit those open receivers that he's got.
Grant West split out to the left here. Hands the ball off to the lead back on that, and I believe that was Bracey. Not much there, as he looks like he might have lost a yard. We'll have to wait to see where they mark it.
He was wrapped up as soon as he got the handoff, Mike.
They're going to mark it back at the original line, so that's going to bring it. Well, no, they're going to move it back a yard. Make it 3rd down and 9. Minute and 24 to go as the clock continues to run here. So that'll be a loss of a yard on the play.
A little over a minute, and the cheerleaders, the alumni cheerleaders, are only going to be cheering for another minute and 10 seconds as they were cheering in the first 2 quarters of the first half of this game, Mike.
Sounded pretty good up here, too.
Yeah, and they looked pretty good for what they were doing down there, for what I could see anyway.
But Kecoughtan will call timeout here. That's their first. That'll give them 2 remaining in the first or the last minute and 3 seconds here in the second quarter. As Kecoughtan on the drive trails the Phoebus Phantoms 20-0 here. A minute and 3 to go here before half 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching LSC, local sports channel. If you're watching it tonight live, you're watching it on Cox Cable Channel 48, live from Darling Stadium. Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser, as we take another look at the alumni cheerleaders from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and up, who've been working hard for 3 weeks for this great nostalgic moment where they could get out there and cheer for their Phantoms of Phoebus.
They look like they're having a lot of fun, too.
Well, they are. They got to be cold, though. Got to be cold. Oh, by the way, one more thing, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the end of the half here, remember that Saturday, November 1st, the 18th Annual Warrior Classic at Darling Stadium. From 4 to 10, marching bands from throughout the state will compete in a magical display of music that will astound you and amaze you. Be there, November the 1st, Saturday.
Dorsey on a reverse play, handed the ball off to number 2, and that is Grant West, and nothing doing there as the Phantoms had that one sniffed out. There was 2 defenders standing there waiting for him when he came around. He was able to get back to near the line, but he's going to lose about 2 all the way back to about the 35-yard line as Kecoughtan will call another timeout here.
It's almost as if they knew that play was coming, Mike. They just came right in there and said hello.
One of the things, obviously, Coach D has told his players, stay home.
Well, no, they're out here on the field tonight, Mike.
Stay home on the field.
They're here. I'm watching them right here on the screen.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Their ends and their outside linebackers are staying at home, and it's keeping the trick plays like the end around from happening. They're standing there waiting on them, and that was a prime example right there of what they were doing.
That's called good fundamentally coached football, and that, as we know, is key to not just Phoebus, but the top teams in the district.
Well, Kecoughtan has 1 timeout left. We have a 4th down and we'll call it 4th and 10. As the ball sits just shy of the 35-yard line, and see if they can get something on a 4th down play. Otherwise, they will turn it over to the Phantoms.
You know, as you were saying that, I happened to look out there, and I keep forgetting we have scoreboards out there. I always rely on Andy Foley's great graphics here in front of me on the screen while I'm watching this. Just notice that scoreboard out there.
There's 2.
Andy, yours is what I use.
Dorsey back to pass, being forced to the left. Almost intercepted again, as this time it looked like it was almost intercepted by number 25, who was Chaz Robinson. It was intended for Kecoughtan number 4, Dominique Hollier. Incomplete. So the Phantoms hold Kecoughtan and will take over 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. They still have 2 timeouts left, and let's see if the potent offense for the Phantoms can do something in the last 36 seconds.
Here's that replay again. Watch the pass again. Triple coverage on this receiver as Chaz Robinson goes up, and then later on, I don't know whether you saw it or not, but Chaz Robinson was talking to his brother on the sideline there. His brother, one of the assistant coaches for the Phoebus Phantoms. Really nice guy. Super wonderful young man.
This time, and he picks up about 5. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 5, just shy of the 40, and the Phoebus Phantoms call timeout. 29 seconds to go here in the second quarter of play. 20-0 Phoebus out in front of Kecoughtan. That leaves Phoebus with 2 timeouts and 20 seconds to try to get something going here before halftime.
And you know what's interesting? And I just checked with Brent over here, and they're going to find out here in just a second. We may see Alston held to a season low in yardage here.
Well, that's only because they haven't been able to play.
He's got 5 carries for 32 yards in this half because Phoebus hadn't had the offense out there.
Well, it's going to be real interesting to find out, you know, to hear what the time of possession would have been in this first half.
It's got to be amazing. There's a young man that's filming it because he doesn't believe it either.
Second down and 5 for Phoebus at just shy of their own 40-yard line. 2 wide outs and to the near side, 1 to the far side. And back to pass is Boyd being flushed out, coming to the near side here. Passes. It was completed, but it was out of bounds as the pass was intended for Markel Wilkins. Nice pass, but he waited a split second too long to let loose with it as he caught the ball actually out of bounds.
Watch him get it here. The pass is right to him. He's got it, like you said, Mike, but he really doesn't control it till he's out of bounds. And then watch what happens here. Boom. Right into one of the Phoebus coaches. Hope he's okay.
You know, that entire play, the clock did not run. It still shows 20 seconds.
That's interesting. Okay, they're telling us it's 29.
All right, it did. It ran 9 seconds. I thought it said 20 seconds.
I did too.
I was looking at it and I thought it said 20 seconds.
I was looking right here on the screen.
But it still says 20 seconds.
It's still 20 seconds.
Third down and 5 now. There's a draw play and nothing doing there as the Warriors had that one covered pretty good as number 77 on the tackle is Marshall.
Also,
and that should do it for the end of the quarter as it doesn't look like Phoebus will take another snap there as the clock runs out.
Looks like number 42 got in here to make this tackle for the Warriors, Justin Washington.
Kobe Goodwin gets his first attempt at rushing the ball here in the first half and ends up losing big yards on a play. So we're at the half here at Darling Stadium. So at the half it is this Phoebus Phantoms homecoming night, and they are out in front of the Kecoughtan Warriors by a score of 20-0. Stay tuned for second half action. We'll be back after this. Oh, let's send it down to Bob. He's got some of the cheerleaders down there.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. I've got Stephanie Jenkins. Stephanie Jenkins graduated in 1980. She's the one that kind of put this thing together. Tell us a little bit about what happened.
Well, we're here for camaraderie, of course, and to have fun, but more importantly, we're here to give back to our current cheerleaders. Every young lady had to pay $20 that went to the current cheerleaders. And so we're here to have fun, cheer on our Phantoms, and to give back.
Well, I tell you, this is wonderful to see these young ladies out here. And I can say young because I'm a little older. But thank you so much.
Thank you. And we span over 4 decades, 70s, 80s, 90s, and the millennium.
How about that? Good enough. Okay, guys, let's go back upstairs.
Good job down there, Bob. All right, stay tuned for second half action here at Darling Stadium. Again, the Phoebus Phantoms out in front here at the half of the Kecoughtan Warriors by a score of 20-0. We'll be back right after this.
You're watching LSC Local Sports Channel live from Darling Stadium.
All right, welcome back here as score is still obviously the same as the Phoebus Phantoms out in front 20-2 nothing here at the half.
You mean it didn't change over halftime?
Since we were here shortly ago. You know, defensively, Kecoughtan's played a great game, and in a little while we'll be able to show you what the halftime stats were. But let's look at some of the first half highlights for this game so far.
And we've got some great highlights brought to you by Mike Nowinski. Here's the failed punt that turns into a score for the Phantoms as they recover the ball in the end zone for the first score of the evening. Here you've got Taj Boyd, who can't find the receiver, so he takes off to the far side of the field, gets a nice long run, which will lead to this field goal by number 54, Eric Crocker, which again tacks on 3 more points, makes it 10-0 for the Phantoms. Now watch this play, ladies and gentlemen. Number 38, Colby Goodwin, sitting back there from his position as free safety, picks it off, goes down the sidelines, all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. It's 17-0. And then you have this one. Again, Colby Goodwin making the interception, taking the ball down the sideline once again, gets it to around the 15-yard line. Now with a chance to score, Tosh Boyd takes it into the backfield, but he can't find anybody, and he pays for it as he is nailed right here by the Warriors, number 11. And once again, Crocker comes in, just gets the ball over the goalpost for the score, and that made it 20-0 as we went into halftime. But Mike, my goodness, wait till you see the stats
when
up here.
When you see the stats, it's amazing.
Oh.
It's amazing that Kecoughtan had to score. Just look at the total yards. Kecoughtan's got 89. Phoebus only has 54, but the Warriors are trailing 20-0. Well, let's. There's one stat right there that really shows the reason why we got a 20-0 score. 3 turnovers for Kecoughtan. Passing yardage, Phoebus doesn't have any. Everything they've done's been by the run, but they haven't been on the field because look at the time of possession. 5:53 for Phoebus and 18 minutes plus in the first half for Kecoughtan and nothing to show for it. Trailing 20-0 here in the first half. It's unreal. Obviously, Phoebus's defensive line is doing a good job holding Kecoughtan with only 9 yards rushing. But Kecoughtan's outgaining total yardage. 3 turnovers have really hurt them.
Well, it's kind of misleading, though, as you and I were talking about during the break. They've had the ball for 18 minutes. Phoebus has only had it for 5 minutes. They're not going to get any yardage because they haven't been able to get the ball to do anything with their defenses doing it all.
That's right. Let's look at the scoring. First score came as Kecoughtan was attempting to punt the ball out of their own end zone, and the punter dropped the ball.
Special teams
picked it up in the end zone. Extra point, 7-0. A little while later, after Kecoughtan's defense couldn't do anything, Phoebus took over the ball, got the ball close, but again, the defense for Kecoughtan did a job and held him to a 30-yard field goal, which, by the way, was a pretty good kick. That was 15, 20 yards past the goalpost.
That was with the wind.
That 30-yarder could have easily been 40, 45. And again, at that point, 10-0 in the first quarter, and then 2 interceptions later, tack on 10 more points, and it's 20-0. So defensively for Kecoughtan, exceptional job so far tonight. Offensively, not too good. But as far as Phoebus is concerned, Phoebus's offense hadn't had to do anything. They haven't been on the field but for 5 minutes of the first half. So, you know.
And people tell you that defenses win games. And if you look at these stats, Kecoughtan's probably one. Okay, well, we've played the defense. Why aren't we winning the game?
We got almost 100 yards. They only have a little over 50. We're outgaining them, but we haven't scored.
That's right. Unfortunately for the Warriors, the Phoebus defense is playing well too and has forced those turnovers. Here's the stats again, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is unbelievable. You put these stats in the paper in the morning without any names there and no score, and people are going to tell you, well, the guys with 18 minutes of possession probably won the game. They've got 89 yards to 54 yards. They had to have won the game. But the 3 turnovers are the difference.
We sit here and shake our head because it's really mind-boggling. And defensively, the Phantoms, they're the real deal. That's all there is to it.
They are. I mean, 18 minutes. They've been out there longer than they've ever been before in a game, and they're probably wondering what's going on here. Why can't the offense get back out there and let us rest a little bit? They're taking it and doing it, though.
The reason why the defense is probably thinking that is because offensively they haven't had a chance. They haven't had a chance to run the ball. They've only had the ball. I believe they only had the ball 2 times in the first half. Isn't that correct? Or 3?
I think they had the ball 3 times, but I'm not sure.
Twice. They scored both times. They had the ball offensively, and they were field goals.
That's correct.
So, and they haven't punted the ball. So offensively, in the entire first half, the Phoebus Phantoms offensively had the ball twice.
Sean Austin has about
35 yards rushing in the first half.
Can you imagine?
Last week he had 170, something like that. I mean,
170, 187 yards. This week, he's going to be lucky to get 60.
Statistically, this game is really unreal. I mean, it's just you have a hard time visualizing the fact that Phoebus has 20 points and Kecoughtan doesn't have anything. But Kecoughtan's defense has played a great game tonight.
They have.
Again, they've only had to cover them twice during the first half, and they held them to field goals both times, and that's something that not a lot of teams this year so far has been able to say they've been able to do that.
That's true, and that's something that I was going to mention. You know, we're kind of making light of the situation that Phoebus has only been out there 2 times, but they've been out there 2 times and only gotten field goals. Now, this is a team that's used to driving down the field and going into the end zone for a touchdown, and they haven't done that yet. That is a little strange, but it's a testament to how well that Warrior defense is playing. And, Mike, like you said, we saw that last week against Hampton. They played well. They just ended up making the mistakes and having the turnovers that put them on the wrong end of the score.
The Daily Press reporter up here, Mr. Johnson, we were talking before the game started, and I said, well, you know, this could be one of those kind of games that we might end up having to run a clock by the first half. And you know what his response was? I don't think so. He says, I think Kecoughtan's defense is going to be able to do a good enough job to keep this game from getting into that run and clock situation that has happened in every game that Phoebus has played so far this year. And look at the clock. I mean, look at the scoreboard, 20-0. And we're not anywhere near that point. So Kecoughtan's defense has done a great job tonight, and their offense has struggled to a certain point because of the big plays that the Phantoms defense have done in the running game. In the passing game, obviously, Kecoughtan has done a very good job, especially on those 2 long passes down the right sideline. But that was all Mr. Dorsey.
Yeah,
we talked about Mr. Dorsey at the beginning of the game, how he would be obviously the key role here for Kecoughtan, either tucking it in and running or letting loose with the pass. That's what he did.
And we said if he could get some early completions, open up the game, Kecoughtan would have the chance, like you said. He's got the open receivers. I don't know whether it's the wind or what, but he's missed a few passes a little high. One of his problems tonight is he's been throwing into triple coverage and quadruple coverage. He's going to have to stop doing that. He's got the receivers that are there. Get the ball to them. Take the short passes. Take what Phoebus has given you and go with it.
Well, even the two completions down the right sideline were into coverage, but it just so happened it was a perfect pass that actually made it happen. So Dorsey can throw the ball really well, and in order for Kecoughtan to have a chance in this, they got to do one thing, and that's hold on to the ball.
Yes.
They can't give the ball up. 2 interceptions. One of them resulted in a touchdown. The other resulted in a field goal and a turnover with a botched punt as the punter actually dropped the ball on a pretty decent snap. He just dropped it right at the goal line. And the Phantoms, I believe it was it Chaz Robinson, number 25? Yeah, it was. Chaz Robinson recovered it and picked it up in the end zone for the score. Let's send it down to Bob Hintz down on the sidelines as he's got a couple things he wants to chat about.
Hey, thanks, guys. Listen, I was listening to you commenting on the field goals, but you got to look at a positive note here. If they get into playoffs, which I'm pretty sure Phoebus is going to make the playoffs, they're going to have a time when they're going to have to try to kick a field goal. What better opportunity than do it against this win tonight and make 2 of them? That's going to give this young man a lot of confidence when it comes to kicking field goals.
Absolutely. And that came into play a couple of years ago when we went up north and they played in the state semifinals, ended up winning a game on a field goal in overtime.
And here at the beginning of last season when they played Bethel.
That's right. At the end of the game, that was Mr. Cole, as he kicked 2 field goals that year, one to win the game in the last minute of play against Bethel, and then he also won that game up north in the state semifinal game that turned out to be a doozy of a game. It went into overtime to win it. So, yeah, you're right, Bob. Field goals come into play a lot. And when you get into the playoffs and you get to see a lot of the better teams, especially defensively, you better have a kicker that can kick the field goals to give your team a shot to win a game.
Something else, Bob, and I don't know whether you might have a comment on this or not, but in this game tonight, we are seeing Phoebus winning big and controlling the game, controlling the line, controlling the scrimmage, and winning without the use of the offense. Teams are afraid of that offense, but here tonight they're showing they can win on defense.
You're absolutely correct on that. The defense is what kept them in the game. That's where all the scores have come from tonight for the most part, except for the 2 field goals. But their defense has been the catalyst all year long. And you're right when you say defense has done it. Offense hasn't done anything out here tonight that the coaches are pleased with. So I'm looking for them to come back this second half and maybe run that ball a little harder than they did the first half.
Well, they'll get to start it off right off the get-go as they will receive the kickoff here to start the second half. Again, the score is 20-0 Phoebus out in front of Kecoughtan as we get ready to start the third quarter of play here. And a good analogy down there, Bob. They gotta be able to do something offensively here the rest of this way in order to be able to get back to control the game the way Phoebus normally controls a game.
If you guys up there are as hot like you were last week, if you were, come on down here.
Believe me, we don't have that problem up here.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Now, Brent said he was sweating, and you guys were saying, well, where's the fan? Well, the fan is down here tonight, guys.
A little on nippy side down there, huh?
Oh, it's okay.
And it's not even cold yet.
Oh, no. But y'all, my partner up here is shivering. He's snickered in under here, and he's really saying, oh, my goodness, it's a little on the nippy side. It is. But I imagine with that wind blowing down there, it's quite brisk. As the Warriors will be kicking off here to start the third quarter as the kick is short at the 20. I believe that is Goodwin, number 38 on the carry that time as he gets the ball near the 30-yard line. So Kecoughtan, not Kecoughtan this time. It'll be Phoebus. Phoebus will start first and 10 from their own 30 here as the offense will. Let's see if they can do a little bit of controlling of the ball here to start the third quarter of play. It's something they did not do. They really never had a chance to do. I mean, both times they got the ball in the first quarter or first half, they didn't have to go very far. Both times scoring field goals. First and 10 from their own 30. Hodge Boyd hands the ball off to Sean Austin, and nice run off to the left, picks up near 11 yards. That'll be good for a first down as Austin gets a first down outside the 40, so it's first and 10 for the Phoebus Phantoms.
And you're watching LSC Local Sports Channel live here at Darling Stadium as we start the third quarter of this game. It's sponsored by Eric Thompson Realtor, a Hampton City Schools alumni and former athlete. You can call Eric at 685-3127 to buy or sell a home or property. Eric Thompson Realtor.
And Boyd hands off to Austin, this time to the right side of the center. Picks up a couple of yards on the play as he's brought down at about the 44. Give him 3 on the play. That will bring up a second down and 7.
Also sponsoring the third quarter here, Zooms. Once again, David Allen and Zooms are sponsoring student athletes in Hampton. Zooms with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you as we watch that replay on the screen. Also by Kelly's Tavern. Good food at good prices. Bring the entire family to enjoy one of their delicious meals at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News and Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton.
And Austin hands off to Boyd hands off to Austin. This time he's near the first down. We're going to give him a good 6 yards on the carry. Let's see, they mark it just shy. That'll bring third down and less than 1 for the Phantoms.
Nice typical Sean Alston run here as he goes up the middle and grabs that extra yardage.
Brought down by the Warriors number 11, Hakeem Gardner.
Last sponsor for the third quarter tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Tidewater Team Sports. Located at 11839 B. Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News, Tidewater Team Sports offers screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411. Talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara.
Ball's handed off to Davenport, the lead runner. And look at him barrel his way all the way down near the 45-yard line. And he picks up just enough yards to pick up the first down by about 4 yards.
Does he ever get tired?
I don't know. I tell you what, he's on the field offensively and defensively. He's nonstop.
Tell you what, that young man is something.
When you need a yard, you bring in the big guy.
And he can get you a yard on offense or defense. On defense, he can get you a yard by tackling the opposing running back a yard deep in his own territory. And he can get you a yard on offense by gaining it by running. He just keeps going and going and going, kind of like this young lady here who's enjoying the game. She's going and going and going.
Yeah, that's called the elephant package. Austin on the sweep to the right side. There's a flag down, and obviously we might have a little bit of a block in the back on that one. That sprung Austin all the way down near the 30. Mark it at the 32, and let's see what the penalty is. Holding will be the call against Phoebus, so that's coming back.
We haven't had either, have we?
I don't remember any penalties in the first half. Did we, guys?
Penalty. Guys, did we have any penalties in the first half? They're saying yes. Yes, we did. Here comes Austin around the corner as you see him picking up some yardage, getting a good block right there in front of him. That could have been holding right there, too, as you saw that.
Well, that's coming back, and it'll be marked from the spot of the foul. So they ended up – here's the regular cheerleaders.
Oh, what happened to the alumni? They're all gone.
They did a great job. There was a bunch of them out there, too. So that's ends up being a loss of about 7 yards on the play. Make it first down and 17 now for – I'm not going to say that's Gotti. Snap on Boyd. Looks like he wanted to hand the ball off, but nobody wanted to take it. He ends up carrying the ball straight forward and is brought down by number 13 on the play. Yeah, which one was going to hand it to? Lopez for Kecoughtan on the stop. Back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be second down and 17. That was a play he was was he faking either way? Nobody wanted to take it?
I don't think he was faking. Both runners just blew right by him, and he turned right, turned left, turned right, turned left. Okay, I'll take it. And he tried to make something of it, unfortunately. I think that was a busted play.
Boyd will now go into the shotgun. 2 wide outs to the far side. Split backs on either side of Boyd. Wide out to the near side, Romero, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I did that again. There's a pass wide open. And is it completed to 2 or 7?
5.
5, okay. Markel Wilkins, great job. He was I like that. 7 minus 2 is 5.
Watch this. Boyd has plenty of time, and Wilkins ran a great route. Nobody within 5 yards of him.
Grant West on the stop for the Warriors. Nice pass play. 1st and 10 for the Phantoms at the 28-yard line. Nice pass play.
And Bob Hintz was right talking to us during halftime. Phoebus is coming out. They're finally getting their offense rolling.
Two wide outs, one all the way over here on the right sideline, way away from the actual line where the ball is. Snap, pitch back to Austin. There is a block in the back that is going to be called right there at the line of scrimmage. And was that 38 on the carry? Yeah, that's 38, Colby Goodwin, as he comes in occasionally and takes over for Austin in the backfield.
I think, Mike, he's going to be the next running back in line here at the Phoebus Phantoms. He's a good young player. We've seen him playing a great game on defense tonight, and he does come in occasionally, gives Austin a spell, and they don't lose a beat when that young man is in there.
On the offense, 10 yards in the spot of the foul, remains first down.
Well, the spot of the foul was actually the line of scrimmage, so 10-yard penalty is going to be first down at 20 now. We saw them, those young ladies, back in the first half.
But look, they borrowed the blanket from Bob Hintz. No wonder he's cold down there.
Bob, you need to get your blanket back.
There's Colby Goodwin you watch on the replay. Nice move to get around 2 tacklers right there. And look at him. After he's hit, he still gets 3 yards.
So after the penalty, it makes it first and 20 for the Phantoms all the way outside the 38-yard line. Boyd steps back to pass over the middle, wide open to number 7, Romero, in for the score. And that's what we were looking for earlier in the game, as Taj Boyd throws a nice, clean spiral, 38 yards to Romero for the score.
Now you're watching the machine start. Phoebus is beginning to click. Boyd goes back. He's got plenty of time. What a great route by Romero to get open. I mean, he's
open.
He's open.
In to kick the extra point, number 54, Eric Crocker. Out of the hold of number 12, Paul Morant. Kick is up. It's to the left-hand side, and it is good. So the Phoebus Phantoms now extend the lead here early in the third quarter to a 27-0 score.
There you see Bob Hintz on the right, along with Gene Wheeler, the cameraman. Hello, Gene. Hello, Bob. How are you guys doing down
Gene
there?
could turn around. Bob's standing right there next to him.
There you go. Gene Wheeler, one of the hardest working guys around the station, and Bob Hintz, we're so glad to have him back out of retirement to be down on the sidelines and giving us a point of view that he hadn't had in a long time. He's always been up here where us rookies are.
And there's Steve, and who's that standing behind Steve trying to hide?
There's Renee Camden.
Great job. I'll tell you what, both guys were looking at each other with the camera, so Scotty decided, well, let's show them both. Use a split screen there. All right, Phoebus will kick off now as after that nice 38-yard pass play for the score.
Hey, good job. See what I'm talking about?
It goes down the middle of the field. Taken at the 18-yard line by the Warriors. And he's out near the 31-yard line. So that is a nice little run back, and Kecoughtan will take over 1st and 10 from their own 31. 7:29 to go here in the third quarter of play. Phoebus 27 and Kecoughtan nothing.
Hope you're enjoying the telecast here coming from Darling Stadium on Thursday, October the 23rd, 2008, as we see the Phoebus Phantom football team there. See some of the players like number 30. That would be David Burton, young man who supports the Phoebus team from the sidelines.
And let's see if the Warriors can mount something offensively. Dorsey out of the shotgun. This time runs to the right behind his blockers, and he was going to scoot about 3 yards just shy of the 35-yard line. See where they end up marking it. It's probably going to mark it at about the 34. We'll give them about 3 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 for the Warriors.
Folks, if you're watching us live on TV, we'd like to ask you to tell your friends to turn us on. We're on the air 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch us right now on Cox Channel 48, but eventually we'll be everywhere. And you can see us on the internet. Just go to the Hampton City Schools website.
Dorsey out of the shotgun. This time he fakes the pitch and wrapped up right there, as the Phoebus Phantoms had him covered pretty good there as number 12. That is Paul Morant, who, by the way, is the Phantoms' backup quarterback to Taj Boyd. And,
very good one.
He did a very good job for 2 games when Boyd had his injured knee. Gain of about 2 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and a long 5 for Kecoughtan. Ball sits just shy of their own 36.
Morant pretty much smelled that play out, just grabbed hold of the ball carrier and said, "You're not going anywhere, bub."
There's a shot of the percussion section there of the Phoebus Phantom Band. They're down now in the long 5. Back to pass. Wide open. And I tell you what, the intended receiver, William Tate, number 7, never saw the ball come.
All he had to do was turn around and hold up a little bit. He might have had a pass.
He was open. So that's going to bring up a 4th down punting situation now for Kecoughtan. Tell you what, it came real close to being intercepted there by Markel Wilkins, number 5. So Kecoughtan now will punt the ball from their own 36. Kick was taken at the 29-yard line by number 5, Wilkins. He goes right down the right sideline untouched for the score. Special teams for Phoebus does it again.
We have a flag down, Mike. We'll have to see what that is. I think they may bring this one back. We'll have to wait and see.
Where's the flag at? Well, the flag must
Looks,
be right
it's
here,
right here in
down on
front
the
of us.
sideline.
Right here in front of us.
In front of the bench. We never even saw it. Let's see if we can.
There it is, right there.
Let's see if we might be able to see where the flag would have been thrown at. It would have been
During the
would have been
return,
right there. And
blocked below the waist.
Yeah.
That's a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
You go back and look at that block.
On
and,
the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct, that's another 15 yards.
Oh, wow.
I missed that one, too. I saw the young man go in the end zone, and as soon as he went in the end zone, the flag went up.
Let's see. We can see the block. Here's the block that was called below the waist.
Okay, I can see that.
Okay, now let's see at the very end. And I don't know what did he throw the ball or what? Oh, there's the unsportsmanlike. That they won't do that.
He's pulling the flag
He's
out
pulling
as he
the
goes
flag
in.
as he's going in there. He's kind of trying to, I guess you're showing up a team when you do something like that. And unfortunately for Phoebus, that's a 30-yard penalty. Actually, it ends up being about 85 yards because instead of a touchdown, they now have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 15. So you had a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the first foul, and then you had a 15-yard penalty for the unsportsmanlike on the run in for the touchdown. So what a change of events there. So instead of the score being 33-0, it stays 27-0. And right now, Bill D wants to see what the call's for, as he is discussing it now with our referees. The side judge called an illegal block below the waist.
And you can see it right on the screen here. I mean, it obviously was.
I think what Coach D is saying is that particular block on that instance is a legal block. He does not agree with that call, obviously. So after 30 yards of penalty plus loss of the touchdown, Phoebus has the ball 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line.
I hear Brent and Killen talking over here, Mike, and they're thinking that maybe D was upset about the unsportsmanlike penalty.
Well, I saw D taking off after the referees as soon as that first flag was thrown, too. So he wasn't too keen about the blocking below the waist, but obviously our replay showed the block was below the waist. Gain of about 3 on the play, on that play, again. So that makes it 2nd down and 7 now for the Phantoms as the ball sits at about the 18-yard line.
Well, it'll just give the Phoebus Phantom offense
4 yardage to gain.
Time to work. There they are. I knew they didn't go too far. There is the alumni cheerleaders from Phoebus High School who've been out here tonight cheering in the entire first half.
And off to Austin, up the middle, gets out to 25-yard line. One of the tacklers on the play was number 17 for Kecoughtan. That was Josh Morris. Gain of enough for the first down as the ball sits right at the 25.
Watch Austin follow his blocks right through the hole there. Then he sees the opening to the left as the defense overcompensates. He takes the lane, picks up the yardage. That's a smart runner.
1st and 10 for Phoebus at the 25. Hands the ball to the up back, and I believe that is number 25. That is correct. That is Chaz Robinson. Robinson's done a good job running, too, in the backfield. So he gets about 9 on the play down near the 34-yard line, make it 2nd down and 1.
Not just on offense. Robinson does a great job on offense, but he really excels on defense. He's been all over the field tonight.
And he's a junior. He will be back next year. So
hopefully his brother, too.
With Paul Moran coming back as the possible quarterback, and Robinson and
will be Goodwin.
Goodwin coming back as the running. They're loading up again on this. Off this time to the up back. Enough to get the first down, as it wasn't, I believe, was
as Robinson.
I was looking to see if it was Davenport on the play, but this time it was Chaz. 1st and 10 as the ball is just over the 35-yard line, and it is set at the 36. There's Coach Bill D.
With his state championship sweatshirt on.
1st and 10 now from the 36 for the Phantoms. Boyd under center, in the eye, 2 wide outs to the far side. Like he's changing the play at the line. But he did. The receiver switched positions. Hands the ball off to Alston, straight up the middle. Breaks 2 tackles, breaks 3 tackles, and finally brought down all the way down at the Phantom 49-yard line. Nice gain that time.
Did you see the spin?
Well, the spin broke the tackle.
Watch him as he comes through. Here he gets the ball. Now keep your eyes open as the camera follows him right there. That spin breaks him loose from 1, 2, 3, 4 tacklers.
Alston again straight up the middle as he is outside near the 45-yard line, a gain of about 7 as number 11 on the tackle. That's Akeem Gardner for the Warriors. Give him 6 yards on the carry and make it 2nd down and 4. And here we go with a no huddle situation now. Alston breaks 2 tackles and he's down inside the 35, down near the 33. And here we go. They're now starting to take dominance as the offense is starting to run some more. Offensive line is doing the job now. As Kecoughtan needs to call a timeout to kind of stop the momentum here as the offensive line for Phoebus now is trying to take over this game.
As you saw the replay there, once again, I know it's almost like I'm repeating this. Alston follows his blockers till he finds the hole, and boom. I wish I could have some of that hot chocolate right now that young lady has.
1st and 10 with the ball sitting just shy of the 33-yard line. Remember, this drive started after those 2 15-yard penalties all the way back at their own 15-yard line. So right now, Kecoughtan needs to figure out what they need to do to stop this train, because right now the train is rolling.
Number 42, Justin Robinson of the Warriors, over there talking with Coach Tidwell and the rest of the players, trying to figure out how they can stop him.
Alston on the night.
Earlier in the game in the first half, we even wondered if he was going to break 50 yards.
He's 15 carries on the game. He's 5 yards shy of 100 now. Yeah. So obviously this drive and the one prior to that, he's picked up the momentum here as the Phoebus offense has started to get back to looking like the Phoebus offense.
Well, they finally got the ball. As you can see right there, the fans and the band are pretty happy about this.
1st and 10 now at the 33 of Kecoughtan. Handoff is to the up back, and I believe that's Chaz Robinson as he takes the ball down to the 25-yard line. That is a gain of 8 for the Phantoms. And Chaz Robinson sets up as the fullback in the I formation, and he's getting good yardage on his own right.
Sure is. He takes the quick handoff and just slips right through the hole and bulls his way out there for big yardage.
Again, in the no huddle. 2nd down and 2 from the 25. There is Alston off the left side, but cuts it back to the near side and down inside the 20 near the 16. That's going to be a good yardage pick up for a 1st down. Looks like they're going to mark it at about 17.
Is it my imagination, in the last several plays, watch this when they go off to the left and then cut back through a lane to the right.
Following
to
the
left and then coming off to the right.
Here's a pitch to Alston. He cuts it back in, and he gets down inside the 15-yard line, and he is tackled on the play as looks like number 19 on the play. Could have been 19. I don't have 19 on my sheet here. Was it 49? I'm sorry, it 49. Was 49. Yes. So 49 on the stop for the Warriors, and that's Xavier Ely. Gain of about 4, 2nd down and 6 for the Phantoms.
As you're watching this game live on LSC, local sports channel, October the 23rd, Thursday night, 2008. And again, I hope you guys at Walt's Barbershop on Armstead Avenue, if you're still there. And even if you're not, if you're still watching it on TV, we appreciate you guys watching.
Here's a handoff to Alston as he cuts it back inside, going from the right, and he gets it down near the 5-yard line, and that looks like that's about an 11. Let's give him about 8 yards on the carry down to the 5-yard line, and that's enough for a 1st down. So the Phantoms will have a 1st and goal now. Nice little run.
Replay there. And Scotty was just telling me, the guys from Wall's Barbershop, he saw him somewhere in the crowd here tonight. So congratulations for being here, guys. We appreciate your support. Thank you for watching LSC, local sports channel.
And looks like full house backfield with Dominique Davenport as the up back. Hands the ball off to Austin, and he will follow it right into the end zone. Touchdown Phantoms. As Austin scores from 5 yards out, and they had to wait a little while to get that extra, that touchdown that was called back, but they got a lot of yards offensively that time. That's an 85-yard drive.
It wasn't as quick, but it was just as effective. There you see some of the Warriors as we watch the replay. Austin just bulls his way in. Warrior crowd not real happy. On the other side, however, the Phantoms well pleased.
Eric Crocker in to kick the extra point. Down, up, knocked down on the play. It's good. So irregardless of the penalty, it was good. And now the score is the Phoebus Phantoms 34 and the Kecoughtan Warriors nothing. 30 seconds to go here at before the end of the third quarter. And more than likely they'll tack it on at the kickoff.
Running into the kicker, that's a 5-yard penalty, will be administered on the kickoff.
Well, Mike, while we're waiting for this kickoff here, once again, folks, we had the alumni cheerleaders for the Phoebus High School Phantoms out here today. So we watched the replay for the penalty. Just, well, that's a
good acting job
right there. You're exactly right. I thought, okay, come on, that's a penalty. Ooh.
On Austin now. .98 yards on the night so far for Mr. Austin as the Phantoms will kick the ball off from the 45-yard line now.
Well, he's got 120 yards, Mike. That 98 yards is what he's gotten in the third quarter.
Oh, big time difference, huh?
Yeah. Wow, thanks, guys. Whoa, 120-some yards.
Here's the kickoff. It's short. Yep, and that's the Warriors' number 9 on the kickoff. Nice return as he's all the way out near the 30-yard line. That is Deontay Bracy on the return. As he is tackled just shy of the 30-yard line. Let's see, they're probably going to mark it around the 29. So Kecoughtan will take over first and 10 from their own 29-yard line. And we have 22 seconds left in the third quarter. I bet you he didn't even know he was on the camera. Either that or he was ignoring it. One of our staff members here at Darling Stadium. Hand off to Bracy up the middle. Gets the ball outside the 30 to about the 31. Gain of about 2 on the play. That'll bring up a second down at 8 for the Kecoughtan Warriors as the clock is running out here in the third quarter of play. That's probably the last play of the quarter. So at the end of 3 quarters of play here at Darling Stadium on Thursday Night Football live, the Phoebus Phantoms 34 and the Kecoughtan Warriors nothing. We'll send it down to Bob where he has a guest down there on the sideline. Go ahead, Bob.
Hey, thanks, guys. I got Sharon Van Dyke down here with me. Sharon is the wife of one of the assistant coaches at the Phantoms, and he's a Hampton High graduate, but we won't hold that against her. She's a graduate of Phoebus High School herself. Tell me a little bit of what it's like being married to a coach.
Well, it's a lot of time on his part away from the house, and knowing his commitment that he has for the kids at his school, it's not so hard to let him go the hours that he's gone.
Well, that's good, but you was telling me that you had some of the kids over to the house.
We did. We had a cookout for, I think, 6 of the players Sunday, and just watching them at the house and watching Dickie with the boys, it was really, makes it all worthwhile.
I'm sure it does. Well, thank you for coming down and talking to us.
Thanks a lot, Bob.
All right, let's go back upstairs.
Thanks, Bob. And ladies and gentlemen, as we start the fourth quarter, the fourth quarter is sponsored by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armstead Avenue. Nancy Staten, Director. By Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. They're longtime sponsors of Hampton City Schools and student athletes.
2nd down and 8 now. And off to Bracey. Almost dropped the ball. Nice little run straight up the middle. And he picks up enough yardage for the first down before he is brought down by the Phantoms' number 12, Paul Morant. And a gain of about 10, 11 yards on the play. 1st and 10 all the way out to their own 43-yard line.
There's some of the young fans here as we see one of the Warriors' better runs this evening.
Oh, 1st and 10. It looks like timeout is being called by the referees now.
All right, real quickly, we'll finish up the sponsors for the 4th quarter. Kelly's Tavern, family dining with some of the best burgers in town. Located on the peninsula at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue, Newport News. The newest location, Coliseum Drive, Mercury Boulevard in Hampton.
And the ball off to Bracey again. Picks up maybe 2 on the play just outside of the 46 to the 46-yard line.
And our last sponsor, Tidewater Team Sports, your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Please call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara.
They supplied us with our new shirts, too, for the year.
Yes.
For LSC. Nice embroidery. If you want to see what it looks like, our shirts have that on them. 2nd down now and 8 for Kecoughtan at their own 46. Keeper on the play this time down near the 50-yard line as Phantom's number 7 on the tackle is Romero. As Dorsey gets the ball near midfield. A gain of about 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd down, or make it a 3rd down and 4 now for Kecoughtan as the ball sits right at midfield. Tidewater Team Sports does a great job with their embroidery too. The shirts that we've had here at the station has done a very good job.
Oh yeah, they're great people too. Been down there a couple of times and had them do some things for me for our logos and quick, efficient service.
Timeout is called by Kecoughtan. And 10:24 remaining in the 4th period of play as we look around at some of the fans here braving the chilly air. Phantoms out in front 34-0.
I like it when they show the fans and they know they're on TV and they just start smiling. There we see some of the fans over on the Warrior side. Not real crowded over there tonight, Mike, as it normally would be. It's a Thursday night, and I think for some reason a lot of people stay inside on Thursday nights, except for that cute young lady right there. She came out here to watch the game. Oh, well, we've got a quick minute here, ladies and gentlemen. If I can run through my paperwork real quick, I want you to know that LSC, the local sports channel, brings you other things other than games from the Hampton schools. You can watch vintage sports features. You can watch things like Frank Leahy and his football forecast from 1956. You can watch America Bowls from 1946. You can watch a Sportsman Holiday from 1965 and other archived events.
3rd and 4. Dorsey goes back. He's being flushed out, and what a big loss this is going to be. And I believe there's going to be a face mask called on that play. He wasn't able to get the ball off. It was intended for the Warriors' number 6 on the play, overthrown Greg Richardson. But I believe there's going to be a face mask called. Let's see it right here towards the end.
I can't believe he got out of this, Mike. There's the face mask right there.
And that is going to be a good call,
on the
too.
Play. Holding against the offense, face mask against the defense, penalties, offset, replay the down.
That all goes for naught either way, so.
That's what you call a do-over.
It's a good thing because that was a good 15-yard loss right there. They had him dead back there.
The unfortunate thing is that pass was almost complete to Bob Hintz. He almost made a great catch down there and even Scotty said he got to touch the ball. Good hands down there, Bob.
So again, it's 3rd down and 4 with the ball sitting at midfield. Oh, nothing there. Great defensive play as the ball was. I haven't heard a whistle blow.
Yes, I did.
You did? Okay. The ball was handed off to Bracey, and he was met right there at the line of scrimmage. And he's going to end up, actually, the line of scrimmage, he's going to lose, about 3 yards on the play. He never made it back to the line of scrimmage, so that's going to bring up 4th down and 6 as they will lose a few yards on the play. Coming in to punt the ball now for the Warriors is number 45, Jeff Emerson. Back deep for the Phantoms is number 38, Colby Goodwin. Sits there and waits for the punt and then backs away and lets it fall, and it looks like it's going to be down right near the 20-yard line. So Phoebus, 9:21 to go here in the fourth quarter, out in front 34-0, will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'll remind you, you are watching LSC Local Sports Channel on Cox Cable 48. Mike, Don Sherrouse gave this to me. Have you read what they're going to be showing on LSC?
A whole lot of stuff.
1958-59 Baltimore Colt highlights. Now, we joke about looking like the Jets uniforms, the Warriors tonight, but they got the 58-59 championship years, Johnny Unitas, Gino Marchetti, Lenny Moore, all those Hall of Famers.
Wade back to pass. Pass outside and is completed. It looks like it's Griffin, number 9. Picks up about 7 yards on the play. It'll be about 3 yards shy of the first down.
Oh, man is saying first down, first down. I know he's going to get it. I'm just going to sit here and watch him. Here's the replay. Completion and a lot of movement, a lot of walking around. Just picks up a couple more yards.
Second down and 2 now for the Phantoms. Fumble, and looks like he got it back as number 25, Chaz Robinson, actually lost the handle and was able to pull it in. That should have been a fumble on the play. If any of the Kecoughtan players had have been watching that, that might have been a turnover.
Well, if they had been our cameraman Gene Wheeler, who was getting that great shot right there, they might have known it was a fumble.
Yep.
That's why we've got a great camera crew out there.
Timeout is called now as the referees will pull out the chains and check for a first down, and they got a first down. 1st and 10 outside their own 30 as the Phantoms will attempt to try to run off a lot of the clock now out in front 34-0.
This is Thursday Night Football coming to you from Darling Stadium. Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser, Bob Hintz on the field, Brett Musgrove up here in the booth with us along with Bob Killen.
Quick pitch of the ball back here to Austin. Austin on the carry across the 35-yard line near the 37-yard line before he is brought down by the Warriors, number 13, and that is Robert Lopez. Gain of about 6 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 4.
Here's a replay. You see Alston just grinding through there, adding to his 120-some yards.
In the, what do they call it, the elephant?
If number 62 Dominique Davenport is in there, that's what they call the elephant.
Back to pass. Being flushed out. Oh, nice play. As the boy actually looked like he was throwing that ball away the way he had zipped it over here towards the near side. We call that the intended receiver was Owen Newkirk, but goes out of bounds. There is a flag down at the 41-yard line. That's about 4 yards past the line of scrimmage. And they're calling that offensive interference and a loss of down.
On the play, an offensive lineman was downfield blocking. That's offensive interference. There's a loss of down. It will be 3rd down.
Offensive lineman downfield is called interference. That's a new one for me, guys. Offensive lineman downfield is an offensive lineman downfield, I would have thought. Also down is third down a lot. Ooh, that ball was off the hands of the intended receiver, number 5, Markel Wilkins. Incomplete. That's going to bring up I believe it's fourth down now. It is fourth down at about 18.
Looked like Boyd was trying to force that pass in there. Number 8, Bruce Bailey, it looked like, was defending on that play, and the receiver was well covered, but Boyd tried to put it in there, just couldn't do it.
Paul Morant, number 12, in to punt the ball for the Phantoms. This is their first punt of the night. Back to receive is number 5, Anthony Dorsett, and I believe it's number 14 also, which is Jake Priest. Snap and the punt by Morant. He booms that out all the way back. It lands at the 29 and goes out of bounds at the 28. That was an excellent punt. 49 yards on the punt, guys. I'm going to take that ball with me.
I thought it was the ball on the field.
And we have to pick our players of the games here pretty soon. What do you think? Well, I'm agreeing with that.
That's a good one right there, I believe. Just going to have to come up with another one.
Ideas from these guys here, what we can use. Obviously, we know which one we can't choose. We don't want to try to choose a player that we had last time we carried them. 1st and 10 for Kecoughtan at their own 27. Handoff up the middle to the running back, that time number 9, Deontay Bracey. Pickup of about 3 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. He looks like he is enjoying the game.
Oh, he is. That's a great shot right there of a Phoebus player, number 60.
Number 60, Antonio Christian.
Is that who that is? Christian. They're contemplating the game. He looked like he was warm.
2nd down now after a 3-yard gain. 6:30 to go here in the 4th quarter, 34-0. Dan has the ball. Dorsey back to pass, being flushed to the right to the near side. Throws the ball deep down the sideline and incomplete as it was intended for the Warriors number 2, Grant West, and that was a catchable ball, and that would have been an absolute gainer of about 35 yards on the play, but it was incomplete.
Well, the receiver had to come back for it, and he'd have made a great catch if he could have gotten to it.
So incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 7 now as the ball still sits at the Warrior 31-yard line. Two wide outs to the far side. 2 split to either side, and Bracey. This time Dorsey keeps the ball and nothing doing there as he's going to lose some yardage as he is tackled back by the Phantoms number 7, Romero, along with number 50 on the play. That's Jaquan Hogan. So the Phantoms will hold here and force the Warriors into a punting situation as we're working on that, working on the players of the games. Kecoughtan punts the ball, line drive kick. Taken right there at the 44-yard line. He'll lose about 2 yards on the play as that was number 38, Colby Goodwin, taking the ball and stopping it from going back any further than that. So with 5:29 to go here in the 4th quarter, the Phoebus Phantoms take over 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line, already leading by a score of 34-0. Back to pass. Boyd over the middle, wide open. Oh, and it dropped by Omen Newkirk all the way down at the Kecoughtan 25-yard line. That would have been gone. I don't have a problem with that. That's good. Let's look at this replay again. Perfect pass. Right in the hands.
Look at this.
Right over the shoulder. Shame you got two players defensively on there, because the guy that was on defense right there was covering the other receiver. Whoever was supposed to be covering the intended receiver, Owen Newkirk, was not there. The good thing that the ball was dropped as far as Kecoughtan's concerned. 2nd down at 10. Again, back to pass. Being flushed out of the pocket. Pass is thrown over the middle. It's completed to number 7, Romero, on his way, and he will go in to score. That would be a 58-yard pass from Boyd to Romero.
There you see Coach Robinson as he's happy about what he just saw. Finally, in the second half, this Phantom offense is getting untracked and showing us what they've got.
Yeah, this is absolutely what we expected to see up here in the entire game. But now the Phantoms are in second half are taking over. Nice play by the receiver Romero as he split the defense and went right on in for a 58-yard touchdown strike from Taj Boyd.
What was interesting on that, Mike, though, was that when Taj Boyd threw that, he was only on 1 foot. In fact, just one area. I mean, he just leaned forward, was off balance, and still was able to get that pass down there.
The extra point attempt by Eric Crocker is good, so the Phantoms, with 5:12 remaining in the game, are out front by a score of 41-0.
You're watching LSC, local sports channel. If you're watching on Cox Cable, you're watching on channel 48. If you're watching on the internet, well, then you're watching on the internet. And you can watch us live. And folks, if you want people out of state to see us live, maybe you have a grandparent or a parent or a relative outside the state or outside the city for that matter, you can have them go to the Hampton City Schools website, click on the WHCS logo. When it takes you to the WHCS page, click on the LSC logo on the right-hand side. A little window will pop up. It'll have the word play there. Click play. If you need to download, go ahead and download the QuickTime program and then hit play. You'll be able to watch the games live. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, sports live on Thursday and Friday nights when we have games here at Darling Stadium.
You can watch anything that's being broadcast all day long on LNC. It's our LSC.
LSC, not LNC.
Yep, LSC. Here's the kickoff by the Phantoms. Taken at the 14-yard line. And, nice stop right there. On the return was number 25, and that's Brandon Backus. That's actually their punter as he takes the ball back to, let's see where they end up marking it at, on about the 27-yard line. So Kecoughtan will take over 1st and 10 from their own 27, trailing 41-0. And there goes the running clock, too, by the way.
Yeah, there it starts. And, folks, while the clock is running, I do want to put a plug in one more time. Saturday, November the 1st, the 18th annual Warrior Classic at Darling Stadium. From 4 to 10 p.m., marching bands from throughout the state will compete in a magical display of music that will astound you and amaze you. Be there Saturday, November 1st, the 18th annual Warrior Classic at Darling Stadium.
Some of you guys, folks that have never seen this before, that is outstanding. Forced to pass, intercepted by the Phoebus Phantoms at the 28-yard line. And he tried to avoid being sacked way back at his own 16-yard line, and turns around and throws the interception. There is a flag down on the play back where the quarterback was. And it looks like it was intercepted by the Phantoms' number 5, Markel Wilkins, on the play. It looks like Phoebus will maintain possession. Just a side note here.
After the play, personal foul gets blue, 1st down.
That'll go 15 yards against them. After the interception, they'll have the ball 1st and 10 from Kecoughtan's 43-yard line. Side note on Taj Boyd, he's 4 of 10 tonight, 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. By the way, the kicker for
Braxton.
Hey, Braxton.
Wave to us, baby.
Oh, come on, Braxton. You wouldn't do it last week. Not going to do it again this week.
But he's warm.
Boyd back to throw. Completed all the way over here to the near side to the 24-yard line. It was complete to Romero again.
Now watch, Susan Bowers will wave. Hello, Susan.
Susan will.
She's a sweetheart.
A little note, too. Matt Cole, from who graduated from Phoebus a year or two ago, now, by the way, is at ODU. So nice little pass play by Boyd to Romero again, all the way down to the 24-yard line. Looks like Phoebus wants to continue
playing. Well, he had 4 passes for how many yards? I mean, 4
129 yards.
More.
And there goes Colby Goodwin up the middle all the way down to the 11-yard line, as now the offensive line has just taken over this game. Nice run by Goodwin all the way down near the 11-yard line for another Phantom first down.
We're looking at next year's running back right there, ladies and gentlemen, 38. See the similarities to Austin as he follows the blocking and then finds the seam and goes for it. There's some dedicated fans.
Kecoughtan calls timeout with 2:14 to go. Already trailing 41-0 as the Warriors call timeout to try to stop the Phantoms.
There you see some of the Warriors over on the sideline there.
I assume that Andy has the player of the games. If you want to, we can put them up on the screen right now and give them to you.
Right in the middle of the screen there, you see number 6, Greg Richardson of the Warriors. And, gee, imagine that. Player of the game, number 6, Greg Richardson. He's caught a couple of passes tonight, played good defense, been all over the place. And a guy we've been talking about tonight, Mike, you started it, Colby Goodwin.
Outstanding first half. I tell you what, you know, he picked off 2 passes, took one on back for a score, and actually the second. Didn't he take the second one back and it was called back?
No,
that was a punt.
No, that was a punt. He took the second one down to about the 15-yard line.
And they ended up kicking a field goal. Yeah. So he accounted for just about pretty much 10 points out of the first 20 that was scored in the first half by himself.
Plus, he hasn't done too bad on offense.
That's Colby Goodwin, by the way, on the carry. Nice carry down inside the 10 to about the 7. Out of bounds. That'll stop the clock, and no, it won't, because it's a running clock now.
That's right. We want to congratulate our players of the game as we watch one of them, Colby Goodwin, get down there to around the 6-yard line.
Nice run by Goodwin as the clock continues to run down. As we're down near a minute and 35 to go. Second down and about 6 now for a good gain of 4 yards on the play.
Well, Mike, we said before the game that you can't run on Phoebus.
Ball's handed off this time to Chaz Robinson up the middle. Like gets back to about the line of scrimmage, and that's it as the clock continues to run now.
Kecoughtan wasn't able to run on Phoebus. We said Kecoughtan was going to have to find some way to stop Austin. Well, in the first quarter, they did.
Well, the first half they did.
The first half, they kept the ball, and he wasn't on the field. But when he got on the field, he just started tearing it apart.
What, he had 35 yards rushing in the first half?
31 or 35 yards in the first half, one or the other. Third quarter alone, he had 98 yards. Now he's got well over 130 yards. Phoebus, of course, has controlled the line of scrimmage, and they got the running game going. And as we watch Boyd
rolls around, dives into the end zone, and scores.
I hate to see that. Oh, I hate to see that.
Well, I guarantee you the Kecoughtan coaches are not liking this. They instead of just downing the ball, and they're letting them run it.
I don't mind that. What I mind is diving into the end zone like that. Watch this, folks. I mean, you are risking injury here, big injury, and that man has got a great future in college ahead of him.
Like he came out of that one pretty good. 37 seconds left in the game. The Phantoms tack on another 6.
And that was a happy man there, Mr. Robert Johnson, the principal of the Phoebus High School Phantoms.
And the extra point is good. So the Phantoms now lead 47-0 with 37 seconds to go.
Young man saying we're number 1. And yes, sir, right now you are going to 9-0 after this game.
One more game to go next week to complete the undefeated season.
And that is against, I'm not even sure, Denby.
Play Denby.
And Kecoughtan will end up against Bethel. Bethel, by the way, will be playing Hampton tomorrow night, folks, and we'll be here, LSC Live, bringing you the Hampton-Bethel game tomorrow night.
Phoebus will end tonight 9-0 on the season, 8-0 in the district. And Kecoughtan will even up their district record at 4-4 with the loss tonight.
By the way, folks, if you are watching this live and you want to see it again, or you want your friends to see it, we'll be replaying this game Saturday, October the 25th at 7 a.m. and p.m., Tuesday, October the 28th at 6 a.m. and p.m., and Thursday, October the 30th at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. So you can watch this game again Saturday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7 a.m. and p.m., 6 a.m. and p.m., and 8 a.m. and p.m. And I'd like to thank again the great crew we've had here tonight on the cameras: Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer. Andy Foley, our graphics and animation man, who's brought up all that great stuff for you on the screen. Mike Nowinski, who came up with the fantastic halftime plays. Our instant replay man, camera control operator Sarah Myers, production and audio assistant Renee Camden, Don Scharouse, the audio and chief engineer, and the man, the director, the producer, Scotty Bowers. I'm Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser, Brent Musgrove, Bob Hintz, and Bob Killen.
As the clock continues to run now, we're not going to have another play tick off here as the clock gets down to under 5 seconds. So our final score here at Darling Stadium, live here tonight on a Thursday evening, the Phoebus Phantoms defeat Kecoughtan by a score of 48-0. Some offensive stats finals for Phoebus. Second half, they really took it to them. Alston had 21 carries, 126 yards, and he only had 31 yards or 35 yards at the end of the first half. So he picked it up. Boyd, 5 of 11, 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. So there you have it. Woo. Goodness gracious. Phoebus came out strong in the second half, folks, and took over this game. So the final score here at Darling Stadium, the Phoebus Phantoms 48 and the Kecoughtan Warriors nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been lucky enough to watch this on Cox Channel 48, then you've been watching the great programming sports of LSC, local sports channel, bringing you all sports all the time, and even live Thursday night and Friday. From up in the booth, I'm Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser.
Good night, everyone. Here are our sponsors for the game.
Tonight's broadcast has been sponsored by Zooms. We're proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with 2 locations on the peninsula. Fort Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, and their newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And in part by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home, both inside and out. And by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com. And by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armistead Avenue, Nancy Staten, Director.